NFL Today, the pros dissect the details of the game, from the locker room to your living room. The NFL Today, Sundays at noon on CBS.
Everybody loves Raymond. Monday on CBS. It's all here.
You know, sometimes bad things can happen to good people. These days, anything can affect your credit.
At Mountain View Ford, we have a variety of vehicles for every budget and lifestyle. Our staff is trained to do whatever it takes to get you into a vehicle you can depend on. We work with a network of lenders to help get you back on the road. Call toll-free 877-277-7682.
Good credit or no credit, we all need a car to drive. Call today to get the financing you deserve.
A recent survey of Chattanooga homeowners indicated that almost 93% would be interested in buying a home that used natural gas. Only 2% indicated they would prefer an all-electric home. You can now enjoy the warm air comfort of natural gas by taking advantage of Chattanooga Gas Company's low-interest 6.99% financing. For more information, call Keith Heating and Air, a participating Chattanooga gas dealer. That's Keith Heating and Air at 861-2630.
Hardee's Live TV.
Woo, all right. See how everything's coming to the bottom. You got it circling around. Take a bite of this in.
Tell me about the biggest thing on the $6 burger.
Look at this meat, man. It's hanging out every end, you know. It's awesome. See these little tomato slices? They're usually bigger than the burger. Not on this one. It's good stuff. Just dive right into the middle of it. You got to go around.
A million uses and counting. The 210 horsepower supercharged Nissan Xterra.
Storm Team 12 keeps you covered with DopplerNet 12,000. Samsung Digital invites everyone to enjoy today's NCAA game in high definition.
We welcome you to the Home Depot SEC on CBS, a continuation of our SEC doubleheader from Tuscaloosa, Alabama. 84,000 gathered in the sunshine for the first meeting between Georgia and Alabama since 1995. The Bulldogs come in undefeated, ranked number 7 in the country, and Alabama ranked number 22. 1 degree less than 90, a high humidity. It is a very muggy day. The heat index of 99 degrees, but a forecast of no rain for the afternoon. These two teams meeting for the 62nd time. Alabama has never lost to a Georgia Bulldog team in Tuscaloosa. It's an old rivalry, but not a constant one. They first played in 1895. They last met in 1995. Georgia will kick off. They won the toss and deferred to the second half. And the opening kickoff from Brett Kerouac goes out of bounds at the 7-yard line. Well, a terrific game in the first game as Ole Miss defeats Florida by those 3 points. Vern Lundquist along with Todd Blackledge. A lot at stake here, Todd, in this one. Georgia trying to prove validity, and Alabama facing these sanctions.
Yeah, Georgia, so many questions. Are they good enough to win a game like this? Tough enough. They got a chance to prove everybody wrong and silence the critics today. Alabama, no bowl, no chance to go to Atlanta to play in a championship game. It's games like this that this team is clinging to, a chance to make a statement about the Alabama football team this year and the program in general.
Well, there was a penalty, of course, on the kickoff. And a quick moment from you about the redshirt freshman, Brody Croyle.
Great thrower. Quick release brings a new dimension to the Alabama offense as a thrower.
His second start because of the injury to Tyler Watts. It's Sean Williams. He went 80 yards on the first play from scrimmage last Saturday night in Fayetteville. He picks up a quick 7 on this one. And it is Brody Croyle from Rainbow City, Alabama, one of the most highly recruited quarterbacks in the country, almost signed with Mark Richt and Florida State but he opted to go to his dad's alma mater. His dad, John Coyle, was a standout defensive end for Bear Bryant in the early 70s. Second down and 3, and Coyle under his center. Backs in the eye, 2 wide receivers to the left side. There's the draw play. Shawn Williams across the 45-yard line. Close to the first down. We check the Alamo starting lineups. First of all, for the Crimson Tide, Britt Smiley, Ephraim off an injury, Portis, and Evan Mathis. Shawn Williams and Theo Sanders in the backfield. Triondos Luke, Sam Collins, and Donald Clark is the tight end.
The biggest challenge for Georgia in this football game is up front. Are they physical enough against the best running football team in the SEC and the best run defense in the SEC? How they play up front on both sides of the ball will tell the story.
4 wide receiver set on first down. Ray Hudson among them, and Coyle drills it over the head of Dre Fulgham, number 3. They also had Santonio Beard split out from a running back spot. Let's check the Georgia defense. It's Thompson, Sullivan, Darius Swain, and David Pollock up front. Linebackers, a good trio led by Boss Bailey. And in the secondary, DeCorey Bryant, Kentrell Curry, Sean Jones, and Bruce Thornton. Mark Richt, second year as the head coach. He was the offensive coordinator at Florida State before he got the job to succeed Jim Donnan at Georgia. Second and 10. 3 wide receivers to the left side. Coyle looks that way, now goes back right. Man coverage, and it's overthrown. The intended receiver was Brandon Greer, covered by Bruce Thornton.
Well, Brody Croyle got his first action against Southern Miss and played like a freshman, but last week he got his first start. He knew on Sunday that he was going to start, and he played much better. 12 completions, but a lot of big plays, and it was this play, the last touchdown he threw to Zach Fletcher, that really kind of turned it for Brody Croyle. You see by his body language at that point, he knew he was the quarterback here at Alabama.
Now he is on in place of the injured Tyler Watts. Watts went out against Southern Miss with a sprain in the middle of his left foot, and still is going to be some time before he gets back. On third down, there's a handoff, a flag thrown, and the running back is stuffed. It was Santonio Beard, and David Pollock, number 47, was there to make the tackle.
I think what we're going to see from both of these defenses is they are both going to go after the quarterback today. We're going to have a false start on Alabama and make it 3rd and 15. But I think what Dennis Franchioni's going to have to be concerned about with his young quarterback is Georgia is going to come after him. And they're going to do the same thing to David Green when Georgia gets the football as well.
Georgia declines the penalty. It'll be 4th down, and punting problems now for Alabama. They lost their punter Lane Bearden last week to a knee injury, so Mike Ziepel is on to punt. He kicked twice last week for a 28-yard average.
And he's got a different strategy. He's a low-line drive, directional kicker, so they're going to try to kick away from Damian Gary and down the football.
Gary returned one for a touchdown in last week's win against New Mexico State. This is a fine punt. Chases Gary back to the 9. And good special teams work for the Alabama Crimson Tide, led by Theo Sanders. A successful effort for Ziepel on his first punt. Georgia has the ball when we return.
So let's turn to page 7 of our proposal, where we feel...
Page 7?
Should be the next page you have.
We don't see it. No.
Hold on.
There it is.
Introducing Chrysler PT Cruiser Turbo. With an all-new 215 horsepower turbocharged engine, it can get you cross-town, cross-country, anywhere in the blink of an eye.
Let's move on to page 11.
Page 11?
And the third Little Pig's house was made of brick.
Just like ours?
Yeah, just like ours. Only the floors were a lot nicer, with Berber in the living room and ceramic tile in the kitchen.
Great.
It's autumn inspiration at the Home Depot. With no payments and no interest on flooring purchases till January 2004 with your Home Depot credit card. Plus, buy carpet and installation, get the carpet pad free. Only at the Home Depot and Expo Design Center.
I'm sorry, you're asking which Sonic wrap do you want? Grilled chicken, chicken strip, Fritos chili cheese. And you were asking...
I said, do you want to get married?
Back to your question.
This month at Sonic, you're between a wrap and a hard place. Choose between our latest twist on chili, the new Fritos Chili Cheese Wrap, or any of our other great wraps. And right now, add a creamy vanilla cone for an incredible 25 cents.
Roll over your 401k?
Of course.
But it's not like you're going to let it just sit there.
No, you're going to push it and prod it and make demands on it.
Then you're going to put it in the hands of money managers who won't give it a moment's rest.
Yeah, you're going to roll over your 401k.
You're just going to make sure it doesn't roll over and play dead.
Call a Fidelity retirement specialist to roll over your 401k. Because you're not just invested, you're personally invested.
Two of DC's most powerful men are about to face off.
I don't think we're going down the same road. You can bet on it.
The battle begins on an all-new District, CBS tonight.
August the 6th making his first visit to Tuscaloosa.
Got the ice bags going, too. I wish we had some up here.
Good decision. First down 10, Georgia. David Green, sophomore at quarterback. He will operate from the gun on first down. Lefty puts it underneath to Terrence Edwards. He picks up 3 to the 21-yard line. David Green, freshman of the year in the SEC last year as a redshirt. Had a battle with DJ Shockley for starting time early in the season. Shockley went out with a foot injury, expected back against Vanderbilt, and Green seems to have settled down a little bit.
Yeah, and this is an important game for him. I mean, they've had 2 games against lesser opponents, and he still hasn't put up great numbers, but a great opportunity for him today to lead his football team.
And off to Musa Smith, number 32, and the leading ground gainer for Georgia. Out to the 25-yard line, the tackle made by Jared Johnson. We'll check the Georgia offensive line. Stinchcomb, Jackson, Knight, Breedlove, and Marshall. They average better than 300 pounds per man. Musa Smith, J.T. Wall in the backfield, Edwards, Fred Gibson, the wideouts, and the tight end is Ben Watson. 3rd and 3, Green out of the gun. And 2 wide receivers off to the left, 1 split wide right. Knight snaps it back. 3-man Alabama rush. Pass is complete left side. First down, Georgia, as Terrence Edwards gathers it in front of Charlie Pepra, number 26. And the defensive lineup now for the Crimson Tide of Alabama. Antoine Odom, Jared Johnson, Kenny King, and Kendall Moorhead up front. Wortham, Roach, and Brooks Daniels are the linebackers. And an improved secondary, primarily with Gerald Dixon and Charles Jones coming on. Wayne Bacon. Anthony Madison gets his first start this afternoon.
I think that secondary improvement is the biggest key to this Alabama defense, because Carl Torbush is a guy who likes to play man-to-man and pressure the quarterback, and you can't do that if you don't trust your secondary.
Torbush, the former head coach at North Carolina, now the defensive coordinator here. Green going deep for Gibson. Man-to-man bumping at the 25-yard line, and the pass is incomplete. That was Anthony Madison, number 9, sophomore, who was defending. David Green before the Shockley injury, Todd, and then subsequent to that injury.
Yeah, and really those numbers are not poor numbers. You see the Northwestern State game, he threw the most and for the most yardage, a Division I AA school, but the thing that's been a problem, he has not thrown the ball as consistently in practice or in the games as he did last year. And I think Mark Richt has really been focusing on him to throw it in practice like you want to do it on Saturday.
There's the draw play, and Musa Smith gets the handoff. There is a flag. Flags on either side, so we'll check the infraction now.
This is a good start to a drive right now for Georgia.
Well, Texas playing Oklahoma State today. Here's an update from Tim Brando.
Vern, the classic look ahead, and Oklahoma State almost managed to pull it off. Game is still underway. John Lewis with a 33-yard touchdown reception from Josh Fields. Now on the 2-point conversion, Rashawn Woods catches it. Is he in? Is he in? The officials say no. 17-15. Texas just picked off a pass at midfield with 2:15 remaining. Vern?
All right, Tim. Of course, the big one next week, Texas and Oklahoma. 2nd down and 5 after the penalty. Here's Green. Draw play, Musa Smith. Got some room coming right. A lot of room. Out of bounds at the 41-yard line. That's a gain of 22 for Musa Smith.
Well, take a look now. Watch Antoine Odom right here. He is going to just come right up the field on this pass rush, and they're going to take advantage of it. John Stinchcomb just pushes him out of the way. They get the block on Brooks Daniels. And the sprint draw, and they take advantage of an upfield rush by Antoine Odom.
Gain of 22 against an Alabama defense that has been very stingy against the run this year. That's a first down 10 at the 41-yard line. No score in the early moments. Here comes the blitz. Green comes left. The catch is made at the 35-yard line by Terrence Edwards, a very active receiver here in the early moments of the game.
See, the best advantage that Georgia has in this football game is their receivers against the secondary of Alabama. That's where they have the best matchup. Now, in order to get the football to them and get them involved, they've got to protect David Green. And right now, mixing the run and protecting the quarterback, they're doing a nice job of that because Georgia has the best trio of wide receivers in this league.
This is an explosive offense. We've heard that all year, but they ranked dead last in the SEC coming into this game, but looking very impressive on this opening drive. And this is Tony Milton, number 9.
See, they're running the football out of pass looks. They're spreading out the Alabama defense. They're opening up some creases, and then they're running the football in passing formations. A nice job of mixing up this offense right now by Mark Richt. And David Green is doing his thing. I mean, he looks like he's under control out there right now.
Out of the spread on first down and 10. And the audible now from Green, the redshirt sophomore, and Tony Milton comes over to the right side.
See, it's quiet enough for him to audible right now. They're taking a little steam out of the Alabama crowd.
Milton goes left, nothing there. Now, this is a Georgia team that comes in averaging just under 25 minutes in time of possession per game. That's 12th in the league against an Alabama team that is tops in the league at 34.41. And look already today.
And that's an important key for Georgia. They've got to protect the football, help their defense, but it doesn't make, it's not good enough to just protect the football if you don't score points. And now they're in Alabama territory, and they've got to pay it off.
J.T. Wall, the fullback, fumble. Flag is down as well. The ball is picked up, and here goes Alabama. This is Derek Pope. He gets a block from Dixon, heads to the goal line. There is a flag at the line of scrimmage.
Well, it may be offsides on Alabama. It was a funny play because it didn't look like the rest of the offensive line moved when the ball was snapped. And it'll be interesting to see what the call is.
This one might come back.
Yeah, it sure is coming back.
Derek Pope had the key defensive play in the win at Arkansas, an interception returned for 61 yards to seal the victory. And this is a 74-yard return of a fumble that is going to be negated.
Prior to the snap, had a false start, moving in the offensive line. 5-yard penalty.
It's a dead ball foul on the false start. See, I think the center snapped it before anybody else went. Watch this play now. And Ian Knight, boy, that's hard to see. I don't know where the penalty was there. I really don't. And an alert play by Derek Pope to pick the ball up and run.
Derek Pope had the interception last week. Now a fumble return wiped out.
They might have called that on David Green. And I think it looked like he was expecting the snap a little earlier and was bobbing his head and shoulders, and they may have called it on him.
Now the key is it is a dead ball foul. There's no ability by the defensive team to turn down the infraction. And they're going to reset the clock at 9:41. So a big break for Georgia.
The only good thing about getting the clock reset is it gives Derek Pope a chance to catch his breath again. That was a long way to run for nothing.
2nd and 15, a scoreless first quarter. Here's Green, pumps, goes deep in the corner, man coverage, Madison defending, and the ball is dropped, the flag is thrown. This one, I think, is going to be first down and goal at the 1-yard line.
Well, from that first shot, that looked like pretty good coverage by Anthony Madison because the ball was a little underthrown to Fred Gibson. It's an out and up. There's stop and go, and Madison is still in good position, and as he catches up, the ball is underthrown. He's grabbing and pawing a little bit, but he's going for the football. I don't know if that's worthy of a pass interference call.
Pass interference on the defense. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down. And, of course, for a moment, I was back in my NFL days. Just revisited that temporarily. Right. And the penalty is going to be to the 15-yard line and not first and goal.
Carl Torbush has really been pleased with the development of Anthony Madison, one of the young corners, a sophomore, but he's 5'9", and Fred Gibson is 6'4". That's a good matchup for the Bulldogs.
Here's the toss to Musa Smith. J.T. Wall in front. Musa Smith strolls in untouched. Touchdown, Georgia. 15-yard run.
They just destroyed the left side. I mean, the right side of the Alabama defense just got caved in on that play. My goodness. Musa Smith they never even touched him. The whole right side of the Alabama defense got caved in, and he ran untouched to the goal line.
Musa Smith from 15 yards out. His third touchdown of the year. Billy Bennett with the extra point. Up and good. Now the Georgia coaching booth. This could not have been a more impressive opening drive, but they did get a bit of a break.
Are you ready for 623 channels?
It's good to do things yourself, but you ought to do your homework first. Same thing with the stock market. Check out TD Waterhouse, ranked #1 for do-it-yourself investors. Because you've got to learn before you can earn.
TD Waterhouse. You're in control.
The 200 horsepower Chrysler Sebring convertible. Now from Chrysler, our 7-year or 70,000-mile powertrain limited warranty, because love is a commitment.
The Home Depot SEC on CBS is sponsored by the Home Depot. Fidelity Investments, Sonic, and by Chrysler.
82-yard drive capped off by the 15-yard touchdown run. 7-0. But the biggest play of that drive, a negative for Alabama, as an illegal motion call wiped out a 71-yard fumble return for a touchdown.
And during that timeout, I mean, we looked at a bunch of different angles and couldn't see anybody move. So obviously, the officials saw somebody move too early.
Brett Kerouac will kick off. Ray Hudson, Keondos Luke are the deep men. This is going to be Hudson, number 27. He gathers it at the 1-yard line. Up to the 28, perhaps the 29, when the ball is finally spotted. Now let's go back, Todd, and look at this illegal motion call again.
Yeah, it's not real definitive, but what we've been told is that this guy, the left guard, that lifts up a little bit early. And there it is. The left hand comes off the ground before the ball is snapped. Take a look again. There he is out of his stance. So a good call. He did move the left guard. That's Kevin Breedlove. And it negates a big play for the Alabama defense.
Well, first down and 10, and here is Brody Coyle behind his center, Ephraim. Delay draw, left side, Santonio Beard in the backfield now. Dodges one tackle, can't dodge the second.
as Bruce Thornton, number 7, came up.
That's a good sign for the Georgia defense because that is the fail-safe play for the Alabama offense. They call that the turn back or the smoke draw, and they run it a bunch from all different formations. And I was talking to Brian Van Gorder, the defensive coordinator for Georgia, on the field before the game. He said, man, I'm scared to death of that play. They do such a great job with it. We really have to be ready for it. And so the first time they see it, they defend it exceptionally well.
Well, they claim, Alabama does, that they ran it better than 25 times last week against Arkansas. Second down after the loss of 2, and Doyle goes from the gun. Here's a designed quarterback option play, and he crosses it left to Sean Williams. Nothing there. Good defense by Georgia. Kansas State playing Colorado. We get an update from Tim Brando in New York.
All right, Vern, that's one of the scant few unbeaten, untied teams as we get into October. Kansas State, but they're a different club when they're on the road. And look at Robert Hodge find Brian Calhoun for the touchdown. And the Buffaloes warming up 14-0 over number 13 K-State. Vern?
All right, Tim, thank you. 3rd and 12 here. Sam Collins, Dre Fulgham break off to the right side. Coyle will go out of the spread. Georgia with 4 down. And they will blitz. Here's Coyle, finds Sean Williams out of the backfield, breaks a tackle, breaks another. First down on 3rd and 12. A 14-yard gain. Kentrell Curry finally made the tackle.
Well, Georgia did come with the blitz. They're going to bring both linebackers, and Sean Williams is just going to kind of sneak out here, and that's what Brody Croy is going to see. He knows he has to get rid of it quick. He gets it quick to Williams, and then 3 broken tackles by Sean Williams, the transfer from Texas Tech, who has really stepped up in the absence of Ahmad Galloway.
Galloway out with a season-ending, career-ending knee injury a couple of weeks ago. Here's Beard on first down. He and Sean Williams will rotate in that running back position in the absence of Ahmad Galloway.
And they both gained over 100 yards in the game last week against Arkansas. They're different. You know, Sean Williams is smaller, a little shiftier. Santonio, a 225-pound running back. The best thing about this Georgia defense, and we're seeing it already early, is they can run. I mean, they are not an overpowering defense. They're not huge, but they can really run, and they cover up a lot of mistakes with their overall speed.
Second down and 10. Here's Coyle dropping back with a lot of time. Nice pattern run by Dre Fulgham. And he is loose across the 40 and knocked out of bounds at the 31-yard line. Fulgham coming left and then weaving back across, and Coyle found him perfectly for 26.
And that's the play-action pass off of the option. They ran one option and didn't gain many yards, but it sets up this play. Now they fake the option, so the defense has to respect that. The safeties come up to defend the option, and Chris Clemens, the linebacker, out of position, and Dre Fulgham with the big catch. But the play-action pass off the option, a huge weapon for this Alabama football team.
6:16 to go first quarter, and a fresh set of downs now for Alabama. And the clock is stopped. Timeout taken by one or t'other. Timeout called by Georgia. We'll be right back.
So let's turn to page 7 of our proposal, where we feel...
Page 7?
Should be the next page you have.
We don't see it. No.
Hold on.
There it is.
Introducing Chrysler PT Cruiser Turbo. With an all-new 215 horsepower turbocharged engine, it can get you cross-town, cross-country, anywhere in the blink of an eye.
Let's move on to page 11.
Page 11?
Growing in numbers, growing in speed. People, they come together. We are made of stars. No one can stop us now. 'Cause we are made of stars.
I was really hurting, so I took control, fast, with Advil Liquid Gels. Tylenol's no match on tough pain. Advil Liquid Gels are faster and stronger.
You have the strength to get rid of pain faster. Take control. Take Advil.
Miami beats Minnesota in ice hockey. North Dakota wins National Surfing Championship. Nebraska drops football for badminton. Just a reminder from Olympus Cameras, nothing's impossible.
Tomorrow, they'll fill the Heat Miami when the Pats come to town. Plus, Priest Holmes and the Chiefs take on the Jets. It's coast-to-coast coverage, and we'll get you primed on the NFL Today.
Seven 0 Georgia. Let's spend a moment with Jill Arrington. Jill?
Well, Vern, this is a statement game for Alabama. Despite being on probation with no postseason play, they still have a lot to prove. Coach Francione said they're determined to not let the best team be in Atlanta for the championship game. And they're playing out of the pride of wearing that crimson jersey. And they want to have a legacy here as a special Alabama team, staying together through all of this adversity and maintaining that Alabama pride.
All right, thank you, Jill. Dennis Francione in his second season here. And when the sanctions against this program were announced, no bowl games for the next 2 years, loss of 21 scholarships, not a single player left.
Yeah. And juniors and seniors could be contacted by other schools. They could have left without having to sit out. They could have gone somewhere and played and gone to a bowl game, and they all decided to stay. And I think that's a real statement of the respect that they have for Dennis Francione and the staff that he has here at Alabama.
Backs in the eye on first down and 10. Brandon Greer, number 81, in motion. Here's Santonio Beard searching at right guard down to the 30-yard line. Robert Gathers, number 90, made the tackle.
Early impression right here is that the Georgia defense, their front seven, has come to play physically. I mean, they're answering that challenge against the running game. Now, they've given up a couple plays against play-action pass, but against the run right now, they're holding their own. Again, that was the big question. There was a lot of speculation whether this team was tough enough to come in here to Tuscaloosa and win a game like this against a good running football team. And so far, they're holding their own pretty well.
Second down and 9. Collins in motion goes to the right side. Here's the option play. Coyle back, looks deep. He's got a man open, overthrows him. Wide open in the end zone was Clint Johnston, number 88.
Well, he overthrew him because he was under pressure from Tony Gilbert and Shedrick Wynn. If he would have just been able to drop back and come untouched, it would have been different. But take a look at the pressure. There's Wynn that forces him to step up. Gilbert's coming at his legs, and he wasn't able to just make the good solid throw to Johnston. They had him open, but the pressure they got on the quarterback forced the overthrow.
And that's going to bring up a 3rd and 9. Georgia threatens to bring a blitz, and they do. Coyle, good protection off the back foot, and he fires it out to the left side, intended for Triondos Luke. And that will be incomplete. Well, a lot of noise made in these parts because of a quote from former Georgia player and Auburn coach Pat Dye on a radio show earlier this week. Pat Dye said Georgia's not man enough to whip Alabama. That's exactly what I said, and that's what I think. Well, Mark Richt immediately wanted to get a transcript of the broadcast, and so a lot of locker room material for the Georgia team.
Well, he said it 3 times in the interview. He didn't just say it once. I mean, he repeated himself 3 times, and you know, you can't make too much of it, but I think that the Georgia team has answered that call so far.
Mike Ziefel with the field goal attempt. It is good from 47 yards out. Ziefel for the season has now hit 6 times in 10 attempts, and he puts Alabama on the board. Receives congratulations from Lane Bearden.
Growing in numbers, growing in speed. People, they come together. We are made of stars. We are made of stars. No one can stop us now. Cause we are made of stars. We are made of
At Michelin, our tires are rigorously tested. They're laser checked, X-rayed for structural integrity, and finally, no tire leaves the factory without a thorough hand inspection. Michelin, because so much is riding on your tires.
Need advice about relationships? Don't ask Becker. Dancing Stars, it's Becker.
Do I look thirsty?
Season premiere, CBS Sunday.
47-yard field goal from Mike Ziefel. And that puts Alabama on the board. 7-3, Georgia leading, 5:16 to go in the opening quarter.
Interesting to see now what Alabama's going to do with this kickoff situation. Again, Lane Bearden was the kickoff man. And Dennis Franchione said, if we think with the wind and the conditions, if we can kick it out of the end zone, we're going to do that. Because we don't want to give Fred Gibson a straightaway chance to return a kick on us. If we can't do that, you might look for them to do something a little different, maybe a little sky kick to one of the sides and try to get a play. But Fred Gibson, just as dangerous on kickoffs as Damian Gary is on the punt return unit for Georgia.
Gibson opened this season with a 91-yard kickoff return for a touchdown against Clemson. And here is Terrence Edwards, who's also ever so dangerous. Dennis Franchione said yesterday, I just hope we can break even in the kicking game because of the absence of Lane Bearden, who does so many things so well for this team.
44-yard average as a punter, kickoff guy, holder, could fake field goals, fake punt. He was an excellent athlete. He was a wide receiver in high school, so they really miss his contribution in a game like this.
This is Ziefel, who just kicked the 47-yard field goal.
There's a sky kick.
Right. Very short, taken by Edwards at the 15-yard line. And Edwards coming right out of one tackle, being chased out of another. He's got great speed, and he's across the 45-yard line and out of bounds at the 43 with the 43-yard kickoff return. Coming up tomorrow, single-header action for you. It's regional coverage of the NFL on CBS. New England at Miami, Oakland, Buffalo, Pittsburgh, New Orleans, and Cincy at Indy. Late games include San Diego at Denver and Kansas City at the Jets, and it all begins with the NFL Today, this quartet back in our New York studios. First and 10 after the 43-yard kickoff return by Edwards. And David Green loads up the left side. Screen pass, but it's well covered. Now Green having to improvise, and he throws it away.
Yeah, Musa Smith got knocked down. I mean, they were trying to set up the screen to Musa Smith, and he gets knocked down and out of the play, and David Green, knowing if he gets outside the tackle box, he can throw it out of bounds and come back and play.
And we just discovered a flag at the 33-yard line. So let's see what that one is.
Well, it's an ineligible man downfield. The screen, you can get guys downfield as long as you throw the ball behind the line of scrimmage. But because Musa Smith got knocked down, they got the ineligible man downfield. Dennis Franchione got the penalty in his favor, but still not very pleased.
There is the normally quiet Dennis Franchione.
Ineligible player downfield during the pass on the offense, 5 yards, replay first down.
Well, he just keeps making kind of passing by, doesn't he? He's been by him about 4 times. Has something different to say each time. Well, I like the guy. I really do. He's a impressive guy to sit down with. He has a real sense of a plan to build a program. He's done it everywhere he's been, and he's got it underway here at Alabama.
And he's going after his career win number 150 today. Here's Musa Smith. He is running really effectively here in the first quarter. Inside the 40 to the 38-yard line, the tackle made by Charles Jones.
You know, Musa looks real fresh, and it's interesting to me. In the first 2 games, he carried the ball 23 times against Clemson and 27 times against South Carolina, but then only 8 times against Northwestern State, only 12 times last week. So they've really been able to kind of give him some rest the last couple weeks, and he looks real energized today running the football.
Second down and 7. Here's Green rolling to his left. Intercepted by Gerald Dixon, number 4. Stuck his hands up, grabbed it, and that was a line drive from David Green, and Dixon acknowledged as one of the leaders of this secondary and most improved for this team.
Carl Torbush has just been raving about him. There he is, number 4. He's playing zone defense, and he's just reading the eyes of the quarterback and just drops right underneath the throw to Fred Gibson. That wasn't a man-to-man responsibility. He was playing zone and dropped right under the throw.
That's the 4th interception this season for David Green, the sophomore Georgia quarterback. And for Dixon, his first interception of the season.
Carl Torbush told us, he says, he has improved more than anybody I've ever been around during the time that I've been here and worked with him. Started a lot of games, but he's playing his best football right now.
Here's Fulgham in motion on 1st down and 10. Coyle across the middle, got a man. Big play to his W back, Clint Johnson, which leads us to a brief discussion about the root beer offense of this team. They have an A and W, an A back and a W back.
The A-back is running back, slot receiver type guy. They can motion him out of the backfield. The W is like a backside tight end or a guy they can put in a fullback position, H-back type guy. And they list 13 guys on their offensive depth chart. So, they've got a lot of different positions.
Draw play. There's that lead draw. Santonio Beard. Excellent pursuit defensively. That's Tony Gilbert. There's the offensive coordinator.
He's leaning back on us here. There he is right there, Les Koenig. Getting more settled into his role here. Again, this is an offense. They do a lot of things, a lot of different formations. You know, they go option, they go shotgun, they go power football, and I think they've done a nice job of blending all those things together.
2nd down, 12. Johnson goes wide right. Sam Collins to the left, and this is fullback in motion. Coyle, nobody open. Dances right, throws it out of bounds. That's incomplete as David Pollock was in his face. And time now for the DuPont Virtual Playbook. Doug?
I talked about the smoke draw that Alabama runs. It starts by spreading out a defense. When they get in the shotgun, they can spread the defense out. And then they have to bring either a back or a tight end over to the edge of the tackle for the turnout block. The other linemen, they're going to hinge and just block area. Whatever shows up in their space, they're going to block. Now, because the quarterback has the threat of sprinting out, these outside defenders have to play that. They have to get out wide, and that opens up a lot of creases in a defense. And Alabama, they will call that play more than any play today.
3rd and 12. Comes the blitz. Pollock, or rather, yes, it was Pollock who got there. Justice Coyle let it go. David Pollock, who has had a marvelous season in this his sophomore year.
Yeah, he really has. I mean, he's a guy who just keeps cranking it up. Here he is right here. Now watch him just come off the edge. He does an inside move, a strong move right inside the tackle. He gets better and better each week. He moved from tackle to end this spring and didn't like it at first, but he's finding that he's able to use his instincts and his athleticism a lot more out there on the edge.
Now again, the absence of Lane Bearden brings Mike Ziepel on to punt for the 2nd time in the ball game. Goes left, away from Damian Gary, very effective. Well, he's 2 for 2.
Yeah, perfect.
Mike Ziepel is spelled Z-I-I-F-L-E, pronounced Ziepel. And those of us who are a bit longer of tooth than others can remember back to a well-known character in Green Acres from 64 to 72, Arnold Zippel.
Mike's going to love us.
No, isn't he? I was talking to Eli Gold, the widely acclaimed broadcaster for Alabama. He said Mike Ziepel has a terrific personality, and he told him if you punt poorly, the pig is going to come up in the broadcast. There's Eli Gold.
Well, he's doing his job right now. That directional kicking been very effective.
1st down and 10, and Green out of the gun. Musa Smith beside him. A handoff to Musa Smith. Out across the 10 to the 13-yard line. For complete play-by-play information on top 25 games, click on NCAA football at CBSSportsline.com or on America Online. Enter keyword CBS Sportsline.
One of the things we're seeing from Georgia a little bit in this first half, they're going with some no huddle to try to keep Alabama from substituting on defense. Keep the same personnel on the field and call plays at the line of scrimmage. It's not a hurry-up offense, but it's a no huddle to keep the defense from switching people.
Here's a handoff to Smith. He heads left. Contact made, breaks the first tackle, gets across the 15 to the 16. Well, one of the big games in the Big Ten taking place in Madison. Here's Tim Brando.
Vern, another unbeaten team maybe in some trouble, but Brooks Bollinger knows how to run the option. Watch him cut back and get inside for the score. By the way, Zach Mills, who had recovered a touchdown fumble, had injured himself on the play, gone into the locker room. He's back on the field for Joe Paterno. 10-7 Nittany Lions.
Keep us posted, Timmy.
Yeah, you got a big smile out of my partner there, Tim. 3rd and 3 at the 17, a 7-3 game. Here's Green with time, and it is into the hands of Reggie Brown, number 1. That's going to be good for the first down out to the 25-yard line. The tackle made by Charles Jones. Reggie Brown injured all of last year. Great speedster, terrific leaper. Had kind of a modest season so far this year.
He's just a guy who was so highly recruited, so much acclaim, so much potential, and the injuries and expectations have really made it difficult for him to just settle down and relax and have fun.
First down and 10 after the pass to Reggie Brown. And this is Tony Milton, number 9, out across the 30-yard line. Well, the biggest play of this game thus far was a play that was called back. There's the reason for it, the illegal motion on Kevin Breedlove. A fumble on the snap, picked up by Derek Pope, and he returned it 71 yards for an Alabama touchdown, but it was wiped out because of the illegal motion call on Breedlove.
Look at that, rushing yards for Georgia. Alabama coming into the game, the number 1 team in the conference, rushing the football, and Georgia 11 out of 12.
Play fake, Green, trouble, down. Antoine Odom, number 98, got him. A flag is down as well.
I think we're going to get a face mask at the end of that. A great rush by the Alabama defense. Antoine Odom, who Carl Torbush says is just now starting to get the game. He's starting to understand the game. He's in an up position. And he's going to be blocked by Tony Milton in the back. That is a total mismatch. A tailback against the defensive end.
Face mask on the defense.
He just got his right hand. There it is. He turned the head of David Green, and a good call. But a good rush by Antoine Odom. They really got Georgia out of position on that time, getting a little back. Milton blocking against the defensive end.
Antoine Odom, the youngest of that front 4. He's just a sophomore at 6'5", 273, and after the penalty, a 2nd down and 1. Georgia leads at a 15-yard run. There's Kendall Moorhead going offside. So this one's going to go in Georgia's favor. There is a fumble and a scramble for the ball. But the option here, I'm sure, is going to rest with the Georgia Bulldogs. Alabama indicating they have recovered. Kind of a disheartened presence of the Alabama team now. They think they knew this one was going to be called back. Offside, Kendall Moorhead, number 54.
Offside on the defense. 5-yard penalty results in a first down.
Well, what Dennis Franchione has to be concerned about right now, Georgia able to mix up the run and pass pretty good. They're running the ball effectively enough that they're getting it done. Now, the thing that they're going to have to be careful about here, Fred Gibson. I mean, he is the guy, the big play guy, the big tall receiver. They're going to try to get him the ball down the field here pretty soon.
Gibson, the sophomore, playing in only his 15th game. Here's Green flushed to his left.
Yeah, interference. And unnecessary by Brooks Daniels, because I don't think Musa Smith would have had any chance to catch this football.
Now, Freddie Roach had the pressure from the middle linebacker spot. And another penalty forthcoming on Alabama.
There is no foul. The pass was behind the line of scrimmage. The contact was behind the line of scrimmage.
Now let's take a look at Brooks Daniels on that play.
Brooks Daniels, 6'2", 205. He's a rover position. Linebacker, strong safety. He's got his arms around Musa Smith. Even though they waved it off, he did have a pretty good hold on Musa.
Now Brooks Daniels, one of those who had a chance to leave after the sanctions were announced. And he chose to stay. Backs are in the eye, and here's Green with the play fake. Pumps, goes deep. There's Gibson way downfield. Herschel Bolden, man for man.
It's just something they're going to try a certain amount of times every game, because they're always going to have a matchup with him against a smaller corner. They go play action and try to get him the ball.
That is the end of the first with our score, Georgia leading 7-3. We'll return to Bryant-Denny Stadium after this message and a chomp from Uga.
DuPont Stainmaster carpet with new Tactest fibers is so incredibly soft. You have to feel it to believe it. DuPont, bringing you the miracles of science for 200 years.
This month at Sonic, you're between a wrap and a hard place. Choose between Sonic's latest twist on chili, our new Fritos Chili Cheese Wrap, or any of our other great wraps. They're all so good, it'll be one tough decision.
Why do I rent from Enterprise? For more cargo room, more people room, or more headroom. Enterprise. So easy, it's like having a second car. Or third.
Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up.
Don't miss The Agency, tonight on CBS. It's all here.
A recent survey of Chattanooga homeowners indicated that almost 93% would be interested in buying a home that used natural gas. Only 2% indicated they would prefer an all-electric home. You can now enjoy the warm air comfort of natural gas by taking advantage of Chattanooga Gas Company's low-interest 6.99% financing. For more information, call Keith Heating and Air, a participating Chattanooga gas dealer. That's Keith Heating and Air at 861-2630.
Hey, that thing got a Hemi? Yeah. Sweet. The all-new Dodge Ram Heavy Duty.
Did you mean the Charger? Because, you know, that's got a Hemi, too.
You're right. Now with a 345 horsepower, 5.7-liter Hemi Magnum. Grab Dodge's 770 powertrain limited warranty. Ford, Chevy, and Toyota don't match it.
People enjoy first-class treatment. First class. That's what our customers say about our people, our products, and our performance. R.J. Young provides first-class service and innovative document solutions. Like the Rico 6110 color copier or the Rico 850 black and white printer copier. At R.J. Young, we believe you deserve no less than first class.
Safe Families from News 12, where local news comes first.
We start the second quarter from Bryant-Denny Stadium. Georgia leading 7-3. Vern Lundquist, Todd Blackledge, and Jill Arrington with you on this muggy October afternoon. And the Bulldogs look at a 3rd down and 10.
So far, this no huddle has really taken a little steam out of this defensive front for Alabama. Alabama didn't have enough guys on the field, had to run the 11th player on late into the formation.
Here's Green starts, pressure applied, Green dodges it, and he will run, but is brought down. It will be 4th down as Green is tackled at the 44-yard line. Well, we've talked about the sanctions imposed on this Alabama team. Nice story that Dennis Franchione shared with us. Brooks Daniels, one of the guys who could have left, called him the night the sanctions were announced and said, Coach, I've thought it over. I've got some options. I'm going to leave Alabama. And Coach Franchione, who was watching the NCAA championship game, said, well, can I have a chance to talk to you? And all of a sudden, the date appeared, April 1st. And he said, April Fools. And several of his teammates joined in a chorus. Said, we're staying.
I guess they call it, look at this formation. What in the world?
And that one.
Did you see that?
It was a little weird.
They're lucky they didn't get the thing blocked.
Kilgo with the punt out of some crazy formation. He punted it 32 yards.
Ask a child where they'd like to go on vacation, and most likely it's the same place you'd like to go. A place where families can make memories together. A place where magic happens every day. And no one can take you there like Alamo, the official rental car of Walt Disney World Resort. Get a free child's breakfast with a favorite Disney character when you rent an Alamo car for as little as $130 per week. Alamo, the official rental car of the American Vacation.
Your turn. Hey, hold on. Guys, come on. You've been eating this stuff 6 nights in a row. I thought hell week was over. Let's go to Subway. Oh. Something hot, something fresh made. Anything but brown and greasy.
How about a hot, mouth-watering Dijon horseradish melt on Monterey cheddar cheese bread? Or a delicious hot sweet onion chicken teriyaki?
Jim, thanks, man.
Football season's back, and so are Subway's 32-ounce trivia cups. Upsize your fresh value meal and grab one today.
Are you
This fall, my product is like getting a personal visit from God. Make the deal.
The deal is $20 million. The deal is non-negotiable.
Take the trip.
I want 10%. You're negotiating with me?
Blow your mind. Samuel L. Jackson. Formula 51. Rated R. In theaters October 18th.
Your ultimate online sports experience. For the fastest scores, stats, and first-rate fantasy sports, go to CBSSportsline.com. Or enter AOL keyword CBS Sportsline.
7-3 Georgia. Georgia on this last punt formation did something kind of strange. They put all those guys down at the bottom of the screen, and then they almost got burnt with it because they left only 2 guys in here to protect, and Alabama was not fooled. And obviously, you do this thinking you might get a fake. They blocked one, and they were very lucky not to get that block. I don't know what they were trying to find out. Obviously, seeing if they could get Alabama out of position, maybe fake the punt, but Alabama stayed right at home and almost came away with a block.
So Brody Coyle will take it under center. Here's Johnson in motion. And the handoff to Shad Williams going left and skips into the secondary out to the 31-yard line. Well, special teams have proven so important here recently. Last week we were in Gainesville and saw Derek Abney of the University of Kentucky return a kickoff 100 yards and then turn around and return a punt for a touchdown 49 yards. Abney joining a very small group. And it's time for our trivia question. There are 7 players who've done that. Can you name any of the other 6 who have returned both a punt and a kickoff for a touchdown in an NCAA game? Here's the toss left. A lot of room down the left side. Ray Hudson, number 27. Big Alabama game. Matched his jersey number. He picked up 27 yards.
And he got a good block from his fellow back. Shad Williams, number 21 in the slot, gets a nice block. It's a little option play, a design pitch, and Shad Williams, 21, gets a block on the corner. And in 2 plays, Alabama gets their running game going. In the first quarter, they only averaged 1 yard per rush running the football. 2 plays in a row, they've got it into Georgia territory running the football.
Now you got a brief look at Tyler Watts, who was out with the sprained left foot. Senior quarterback, who's such a leader on this team. And here's the handoff. And it's Shad Williams, the transfer from Texas Tech, who has made his way to Alabama out of Andrews, Texas, about an hour and a half south of Lubbock.
He was shocked when you told him that you'd been to his hometown.
Yeah, I could see Lubbock from his hometown. There's not much in between. Tailback tandem of Shad Williams and Santonio Beard.
And it's a nice combo because, again, Santonio's 225 pounds, is more of a power back, but he has good speed. And Shad Williams, 185-pounder, shifty, can break some tackles, can make people miss. And again, when they lost Ahmad Galloway, they were okay in terms of their depth at running back, but what they missed with him was his leadership. I mean, he was kind of the heart and soul of this team, a great person, a great leader. They were able to replace the runner, but hard to replace his presence in this football team.
That's Ahmad Galloway. Remember, we talked with him last year, and what an impressive young man.
Very much.
He is, and his career at Alabama has been concluded.
The leading rusher before his injury, the leading rusher last year with 881 yards. You see his career numbers, over 1,800 yards, and injured against Southern Mississippi, and just really a tragic way for a guy's career to end, you know, in his final season and off to a good start.
Second and short, saw the measurement. 7-3, Georgia leads. Backs in the eye. McClain is the fullback, number 31. And here's the option, and Coyle pulls back. He goes deep into triple coverage.
Pressure again. They're able to get to him and not let him set his feet.
And while they come back to the line of scrimmage, they'll spend a moment once again with Tim Brando.
Vern, as you know, Dennis Franchione got his career underway at Division II Pittsburgh State in Kansas. Well, Kansas State loves to run the football, too. Al Roberson, 71 yards. He has 153 total yards rushing. They've tied Colorado. Bill Snyder, a little like Franchione in the alumni 11 at Alabama, too. Let's run the ball.
Dennis Franchione, who graduated from Pittsburgh State, played for the Gorillas, and then began his coaching career at NAIA Southwestern College. Here's the quarterback sneak, and Coyle picks it up to the 39-yard line. Dennis Franchione, 51 years of age, and what he has done on the collegiate coaching level is amazing at Southwestern, at Pittsburgh, Southwest Texas State, the Bobcats in San Marcos, at New Mexico, and at TCU. He took a 1-10 team his first year and turned them around to a 7-5 record.
And that's why I think he's perfect for this situation here in Alabama now, because they're going to have to rebuild and go through some growing pains with the probation and the reduction of scholarships. And he's a guy that's not going to waver from his plan because it's worked everywhere he's been. And he knows exactly what he wants to do tomorrow, 5 days from now, 5 weeks from now.
There's the pitch to Santonio Beard on the S. And he is chased down and tackled by Thomas Davis, number 10, freshman from Snellville, Georgia.
Again, you see the speed of this Georgia defense. They're not an overpowering, dominant kind of defense up front. Jonathan Sullivan, a very strong player on the inside, but they're best because of their speed. Their linebackers can really run. Their linemen can all run. Tony Gilbert and Boss Bailey, great players in space, running to the football.
2nd down and 8, a 7-3 Georgia lead, and Alabama threatening. Coyle, very modest numbers. He's 3 of 10 and has overthrown several receivers. He'll pull it back again. He's got a man wide open, finds him. Donald Clark, number 93, the tight end, blocked and slipped out to the right side. Big gain of 13 yards.
Well, what they do a nice job of is just slipping this tight end out, and Brody Croyle's going to fake the option and come back, and this time he doesn't get greedy. He doesn't try to go for the big home run. He's able to see the underneath guy and get him the football. Instead of forcing it down the field, he drops it to an underneath receiver, and they get a nice play inside the 15-yard line.
That's Brandon Greer wide to the left. And a first down from the 13-yard line as Johnson goes in motion. Draw play. Santonio Beard breaks the tackle and gets inside the 10-yard line near the 9. Bruce Thornton with the stop. Well, pretty average numbers inside the red zone for Alabama so far.
Yeah, you'd really like to score more touchdowns, and that's surprising with a team that runs the ball as well as Alabama to not get more touchdowns when you get down there. Those numbers are a little surprising to me.
Triandos Luke and Brandon Greer break off to the left. High formation.
And look for the Georgia defense.
Thornton follows Greer. They'll hand it off to Beard, who is stuffed. Tony Gilbert in the middle.
Great penetration on the inside. Georgia stacked up the box that time, expecting run. They played man-to-man on the outside. They were ready for the run, and they just had more guys in there than Alabama could block.
Tony Gilbert, who is the second leading tackler on this team this year. He led the team the last 2 years. And he trailed Boss Bailey by 10 coming into this encounter.
Well, he had to sit out the second half of the Clemson game with a high ankle sprain, and that put him behind Boss Bailey, and so he's playing a little bit of catch-up right now in terms of team tackle.
3rd and 7 at the 10. Collins, wide left. Triandos Luke in motion. They fake it. Here's Coyle, still has it, drills it, tipped, and almost cut down. There is a flag down as Tony Gilbert missed it.
Offensive pass interference. Brian Van Gorder had that look like, what are they going to call on us now? Well, Tony Gilbert does a nice job here of just finding the ball. And here He's going to get chased out of play. Here he comes into the picture right here, 42, and just finds the football, finds the quarterback, and Brody Croyle maybe trying to force one in there. Didn't pick up Tony Gilbert on his radar screen that time.
Now here's the call.
Pass interference on the offense. That penalty is declined. Brings up 4th down.
There is no indication against whom.
Now again, remember Alabama with a different group in here now. Sam Collins is the holder.
And Brian Bostic will try the short field goal. They're using Ziepel over 40 yards and Bostic in close. And this will be a field goal of 28 yards out of Collins' hole. Blocked.
David Pollock.
And picked up by Bruce Thornton. And Thornton steps out of bounds. David Pollock again.
Special teams for Georgia, they've been very special this year. David Pollock is going to come from the inside. You see him just blow right through his man and get his hand on the football. This guy just continues to make plays. David Pollock bails his defense out again.
CBS Sports coverage of the Home Depot SEC on CBS will continue after this word from your local station.
Graham and Alice, a new comedy from the producers of Frasier. Premieres CBS Sunday after Becker.
You know, sometimes bad things can happen to good people. These days, anything can affect your credit.
At Mountain View Ford, we have a variety of vehicles for every budget and lifestyle. Our staff is trained to do whatever it takes to get you into a vehicle you can depend on. We work with a network of lenders to help get you back on the road. Call toll-free 877-277-7682.
Good credit or no credit, we all need a car to drive. Call today to get the financing you deserve.
Schlotzsky's is now Gothi's. Sandwiches that have no bread, but instead, they got a tortilla. They put this really good food in that tortilla, and they wrap it and they roll it. It's called a wrap. Wrap it up, roll it up, roll it up, wrap it up, wrap it up, roll it up, baby. Wrap it up, roll it up, roll it up, wrap it up, wrap it up, roll it up, baby. Schlotzsky's. Okay, that's a wrap.
And counting. The 210 horsepower supercharged Nissan Xterra.
David Pollock, another big play. He made a play for the ages against South Carolina in a 13-7 win. The sophomore from Snellville, 1st down and 10. Georgia has the lead in the ball. The toss goes to Musa Smith with J.T. Wall in front, and Smith struggles to get to the 25-yard line. And let's take another look at the play this year of David Pollock.
Well, he's a guy who has a great motor. I mean, he plays hard every play, every down, every game. And from the very first game, I mean, he's been making plays against Clemson, and this play against South Carolina, the incredible interception for a touchdown. But he's a guy who is getting more and more comfortable at that defensive end position. And Mark Richt said he loves coaching guys like him.
Here's Green, dodges a tackle, finds Gibson, and Gibson out at the 35-yard line. Well, David Pollock grew up as a fullback. He played pee-wee ball with David Green, and they did so from the time they were 6 until they were 12. And here's a picture courtesy of David Pollock's mom, Kelly. David Green and Pollock as a quarterback and running back.
David Green was an Auburn fan growing up, and Pollock was a Clemson fan, and both of them ended up playing for the Georgia Bulldogs.
I just split the difference. And when they're a year apart in age, David Green had a redshirt season. He was the host for Pollock when Pollock came. Here's J.T. Wall. barrels all the way out to the 46-yard line.
Give the big dog a bone. I mean, you got to throw the fullback a bone every now and then. You ask him to protect the quarterback, to lead for your tailback, so you got to give him a run every now and then. And that time, a nice run. They popped the fullback through.
That is a gain of 11 before another sellout crowd at Bryant-Denny Stadium on the campus of the University of Alabama. Here's Green going deep for Edwards, comes back and cannot hold on to the ball. Anthony Madison covering. We've got a moment. Let's spend it with Tim Brando in New York.
Vern and Todd, one Saturday in the Big Ten is complete without a visit from the brothers Johnson. After Bryant Johnson caught a pass from Zach Mills, LJ, Larry Johnson takes it in. They did get the two-point conversion. They lead the unbeaten Badgers, who may be the ugliest 5-0 team in the country.
Not as ugly as Arnold Ziffel, the pig. Here's second down. Good work, Tim. You're keeping the smile on Todd's face.
Right. Good rebound after that tough loss at home to Iowa.
Musa Smith with this carry.
Moose is running hard today. Again, I think he's very well rested. You know, he's had that injury last year that cut his season short, and he's been on a strict maintenance program all this year, and they were able to rest him a little bit those last 2 weeks. And they need to lean on him in this ball game against a very physical Alabama team.
That was a severe groin injury a year ago that cost him almost half the year. 3rd and 7, blitz. Green, nice catch.
The question is, where are they going to mark him down? Because Damian Gary had to come back a little bit for the football. And did he get enough at the initial spot? And it looks like he did. The reason Georgia is hard to defend if you can protect the quarterback is you don't know which receiver to pay the most attention to. If you double cover Fred Gibson, then you're going to leave Damian Gary alone, or Terrence Edwards. When you have 3 quality receivers, it makes it very difficult for a defense to play you.
That was a 9-yard gain, good for the first down with the need of 7. Play action, Green, pressure from the backside, goes deep for Gibson, and Madison and Wilson. He got it, touchdown!
Anthony Madison was in perfect position, but the ball was underthrown by David Green, and Madison didn't find it. And just a few plays ago, the same thing happened. It was an underthrow, and Madison was able to get a hand on the football and knock it away. This time, he didn't find the football, and Fred Gibson made him pay for it with a touchdown. And what Mark Richt is saying is to get the ball up earlier. Throw it to Fred. Anthony Madison never saw the football, and Georgia has a touchdown.
That's a touchdown from 42 yards away. Billy Bennett's extra point is up and good. Fred Gibson already shares the record for the number of 100-yard games at 7. He's on his way to number 8.
At Kia, we challenged ourselves to create the perfect midsize SUV. So we loaded the new Sorento with standard features, included a powerful V6, added dual front and side curtain airbags, and a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty. But the greatest challenge was to make it affordable, so we hog-tied our accountant, threw him in a closet, and priced it under 20 grand.
Introducing the Sorento from Kia. Make every mile count.
And the third little pig's house was made of brick.
Just like ours?
Yeah, just like ours. Only the floors were a lot nicer, with Berber in the living room and ceramic tile in the kitchen.
Great.
It's autumn inspiration at the Home Depot, with no payments and no interest on flooring purchases till January 2004 with your Home Depot credit card. Plus, get 20% off special order wood, tile, and laminate flooring. Only at the Home Depot and Expo Design Center.
I don't know how you do it. I put together some really impressive deals. But this thing you've pulled off, it's amazing. A big and tasty for just $1? How do you do it? What's your secret?
Got a buck? You're in luck, because you can get a delicious beefy big and tasty, a McChicken sandwich, and lots of your other favorites on McDonald's Dollar Menu every day.
Together, Grimace, we could own this town.
Tim Brando in New York. Coming up on the Gateway Halftime Report, Spencer Tillman and I will get you caught up on all of today's action, including Chris Brown 85 of his 128 yards in the first half against K-State right here. 2 touchdowns as another unbeaten could be going down. Now back to Georgia, Alabama.
Sophomore Fred Gibson's first touchdown grab of this year. His 21st catch in all. It goes for 42 yards. It was down about the shoe tops.
Great concentration, man. And that's what they like to do. I mean, they run the ball well enough to where they can use that play action to throw the ball deep and to throw to their big, tall receiver, Gibson.
You were looking at 5'9" Anthony Madison. And before that, you've got to look at 6'4" Fred Gibson. But in that case, the size difference didn't matter.
Madison was in good position, just couldn't find the football.
Here's Kerouac, the sky kick, nice high. And it is taken at the 15-yard line by Ray Hudson. And Hudson belted and taken down at the 28-yard line. And let's revisit the touchdown pass.
Well, here's what David Green saw. First, he saw single coverage there inside, and then he saw a free safety who's staying in the middle of the field. Once he sees that, he knows he's got one-on-one to Fred Gibson outside. They pick up the blitz, he lets it fly, and Fred Gibson does the rest. But when he saw that safety inside, he knows he has single coverage with his best receiver, and a tremendous concentration catch by Fred Gibson. Sometimes the quarterback makes the receiver look good. Sometimes the receiver makes the quarterback look pretty good.
Alabama now with a 1st and 10, 8:03 to go in the first half, and they trail by 11. Here's Coyle, fires it out to Dre Fulgham, shakes the tackle, and that gives him an extra couple of yards. Stop made by DeCorey Bryant, number 22. There's Spencer Pennington and Tyler Watts. Others on the sideline. As Brody Coyle, very highly recruited, actually injured a knee in the first game of his senior season at Westbrook Christian Academy in Rainbow City, Alabama. Sat out all that year, and then redshirted last year. So until he saw action earlier this season, he'd gone 105 weeks without a competitive football game. Evan Mathis. And he had just some gaudy high school numbers that he put up at Westbrook Christian.
Dead ball. False start on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Remain second down.
Yards in a single game, yards in the season, career passing yards, and that's playing one game as a senior. Career touchdowns. Interesting, he told us yesterday that when he had the knee injury, the next day he got calls, he couldn't remember, 20 to 25 schools called his home, his dad, John, and said, don't worry about the knee injury, we're still interested in you.
A good thing for him, he enrolled at Alabama in January that following year, so he's actually went through 2 spring practices before he started playing this year.
Grabbed by Shawn Williams, heading left and knocked out of bounds. And it's time for the answer now to our trivia question. Last week, Derek Abney of Kentucky became the 7th player to return a punt and a kickoff. Can you name any of the other 6? Well, we contacted the NCAA, and they could name only one of the others, Joe Rowe. So what we're wondering is, if any of you know who the remaining 5 are, you can submit your info at CBSSportsline.com. Click on College Football Arena, and the Ducks will take your message.
I think he ate a few Dreamland ribs since we've been in Tuscaloosa. Put on a little weight.
Here's Croyle. Incomplete.
Good coverage by the Georgia defense.
The Aflac Duck has been cavorting with Uga.
So right now, the Alabama offense is not threatening the Georgia defense down the field. The only thing they're able to hit are crossing routes and kind of horizontal routes. And it's allowing this fast Georgia defense to kind of squeeze it down on Brody Croyle. And they're going to have to find a way to get something vertical down the field to stretch him out a little bit.
Michael Ziefel's 3rd punt, and Damian Gary awaits it at the 29.
Always dangerous. They've done a good job of directional kicking. Let's see what they do here.
Gary returned one last week, 71 yards.
There it is again. That's perfect.
That is a terrific punt. Wow. My goodness, Michael Ziefel.
That is some control by Michael Ziefel. I mean, going right where he wants it to go, and Damian Gary has to just get away from it. And Alabama pins Georgia back deep.
A 58-yard punt.
Come on, Dad. How much longer?
honey.
You're not the only one who needs to use it.
Honey?
You can't rush these things.
Could your house use another computer? Then call 1-800-GATEWAY. We have desktops starting at $6.99. Great deals on notebooks and all the cool stuff you need to get the most from your new PC. Call now and we'll custom build the perfect system for you. Gateway, a better way.
I'm out of paper.
Miami beats Minnesota in ice hockey. North Dakota wins national surfing championship. Nebraska drops football for badminton. Just a reminder from Olympus cameras, nothing's impossible.
The heat is on when mozzarella, pepper jack, cheddar, and nacho cheese sauce form a taste to die for. Don't miss the new Cheese Extreme Quesadilla.
4 cheeses. 4. You gotta be insane.
If you can unlock the secrets of nature, you can find miracles. At DuPont, we've been finding them for 200 years now. Miracles that have taken us from here to there. From this to that. And from where we are to a better, brighter world. DuPont, the miracles of science.
Need advice about relationships? Don't ask Becker. Ted Dancing Stars is Becker.
Do I look thirsty?
Season premiere CBS Sunday.
Alabama trailing 14-3. They got the great punt from Michael Ziefel. Now, significant for Carl Torbush in this Alabama defense to come to the front.
Yeah, they need to step up in this drive because this is not a great comeback type team offensively, and you don't want to do that to your young quarterback either.
Musa Smith across the 10. Catch an all-new week of the Emmy Award-winning Late Show with Dave's guests, Michelle Pfeiffer, Tom Petty, and the Heartbreakers, Jennifer Love Hewitt, Johnny Knoxville, Charles Barkley, and Bon Jovi. It's an all-new Dave all this week right here on CBS, America's most watched network.
Biggest question coming into this ball game, was Georgia a physical enough football team? Everybody assumed they're just a finesse team with the receivers and the quarterback. Mark Richt's offense. They've been physical today on both the offense and defensive line.
Play fake, pressure, got it. It came from the corner, Antoine Odom. We were told by Carl Torbush he had as much promise as anybody on the team.
Well, he's fast and he's strong. He's got long arms. He's going to come from up at the top here. You don't see him, but he's going to beat Kareem Marshall, number 75. Just ran right around Kareem Marshall. You take a look. I mean, those three guys, Johnson, King, and Moorhead, they're the guys that the seniors, the leaders, and Antoine Odom, probably the most talented of the whole group, the youngster.
3rd and 15 at the 3.
David Green has to be real smart with the football right now. Your team's in good position at 14-3. You got a good punter.
He's got time, goes deep right side, and there is a struggle, and a flag comes from the center of the field.
If that's anything, that's offensive interference because Fred Gibson was pushing Charlie Pepper a lot more than Charlie was pushing Fred. I mean, Pepper just got in position and just stayed right in front of Fred Gibson. See Charlie Pepper, there's a little infighting, and then Fred Gibson just throws him out of the way. Now, the problem is, too, is David Green was in the end zone. David Green throwing out of his own end zone, not able to get enough on the football, and Georgia will have to punt.
On the offense, a penalty decline brings up 4th down.
Penalty declined by Alabama, and Jonathan Kilgo comes on as Mark Richt.
Well, the good news for Georgia, this is an experienced punter. Jonathan Kilgo is a senior. He's been a good punter throughout his career. It's not like Alabama's situation, breaking in a new guy. But Shawn Williams and Alabama expect to get very good field position no matter what Kilgo does. He's got to be careful of that end line. He can't afford to step back at all.
Shawn Williams averaging 7.5 yards per punt return. This is turning over for Kilgo. The catch is made at the 45. Here's Williams. Inside the 30, a flag is thrown at the 30-yard line.
Boy, it's going to be a block in the back against Alabama. knock some of this great field position back a little bit. This is a team, Alabama, coming into the game has been penalized 43 times coming into this game, compared to only 24 for Georgia. And there's the hold. They got Chris James, number 32, who's going to come in from the left side of your screen here. There he is, number 32. That's a grab on the jersey, a good call. He grabbed Demario Minter, covering the kick for Georgia.
A 17-yard return is wiped out. And the ball moved back to the 40-yard line.
But just what Carl Torbush and the Alabama defense needed to do. They got the big sack from Antoine Odom. They force a punt, and they have the football in Georgia territory now with 4 minutes and 48 seconds left in the half.
Coyle out of the shotgun from the 40-yard line. There's the pitch to the option man, Sean Williams. Good pursuit by Tony Gilbert, the middle linebacker. And time now for this SEC moment presented by Sonic. Let's go back to 1965. The 65 game one that both schools won't forget. Pat Hodgson caught a pass, and was he down on his knee? I think maybe so, but it was ruled a completed lateral to halfback Bob Taylor, who went on to score. The two-point conversion that followed gave the Bulldogs a win, 18-17. Second down and 10. These two teams getting together here for only the 7th time. The first game played in 1905 in Tuscaloosa. Here's Coyle in trouble and down.
Good coverage downfield, and then one thing the young quarterback has to learn is, you know, if you can't hold the ball too long. Sometimes you just got to throw the thing away. Don't take the sack. Don't take the loss of yardage play. Sometimes the defense wins, and in that case, that's what happened. Georgia won on that play. What you don't want to do is you don't want to come up with a 3rd down and 13, because that's tough to convert. You know, throw the ball away and play on 3rd down and 8 instead of 3rd down and 13.
Georgia 3 down. See if they drop 8. Threatening the blitz, and they're coming. Thornton from the corner, Gilbert as well. And the pass almost picked off. Coyle has not been on target for much of the first half.
That was a blitz, but they played zone behind it. It was you call that a zone blitz, and Georgia does a lot of that. They show the quarterback pressure, so he thinks blitz, he thinks man-to-man, but it's zone. And that time, if Demario Minter would have been looking up, he might have picked that thing off and gone to the house.
Dennis Franchione talking to his redshirt freshman quarterback, Brody Coyle. And Mike Ziefel is on the punt for the 4th time. Damian Gary awaits it at the 10. High snap. Ziefel goes up. Almost blocked by Pollock, who already is blocked. Perfect. An extra point.
Unbelievable.
How about this?
That's what this guy does. It's a low line drive, directional kick. And this time he does it with heat coming from David Pollock and still puts it right on the mark.
Wednesday on CBS. An all-new Amazing Race. The teams make their way through Mexico en route to their next destination. Could diving with dolphins provide the clue they need? It's an all-new Amazing Race. Wednesday at 9/8 Central here on CBS, America's most watched network. Here's Musha Smith going right, down to 9. Cornelius Wortham and Brooks Daniels with the tackle. And at the half, back to New York, the Gateway Halftime Report with Tim Brando and Spencer Tillman. Scores and highlights from around the country.
It's a little unusual. Last week we did that Florida-Kentucky game, and it was hot, and the Kentucky team was in the sun the whole first half. Well, here at home, Alabama is in the sun, and Georgia has been in the shade here in the first half.
I was thinking, where are all these mistakes and penalties?
Well, unusual that the home team would be in the sun.
I think I heard Jill Arrington trying to get out of the sun.
I think so, too.
And here's a handoff to the right side, out to the 13-yard line. That'll bring up 3rd down.
All Georgia's trying to do right now is to get a couple first downs. They just want to run this out, take a 14-3 lead into the locker room, they would be very thrilled with that.
Timeout, Alabama. So they have 2 remaining, and the clock shows 2 minutes and 23 seconds remaining, first half.
The miracles. At DuPont, we've been finding them for 200 years now. Miracles that have taken us from here to there. From this to that. And from where we are to a better, brighter world. DuPont, the miracles of science.
New 5-star denim from Wrangler. Wrangler. Real, comfortable jeans.
Tomorrow, points leader Cristiano D'Amata, Bruno Junqueira, Dario Franchitti, and Michael Andretti are among those expected at the Grand Prix Americas. For more, go to CBSSportsline.com. America online keyword CBS Sportsline.
Well, I'm glad you're the guy that has to read those names. That'd be tough for me.
Thought I was doing figure skating again there for a minute. Here's Musa Smith. Big play, Alabama on 3rd down. That should be a 4th down forthcoming as Brooks Daniels and Charlie Pepra combined for the tackle.
We talked about the speed of the Georgia defense, seeing good lateral movement by the Alabama defense on that 3rd down play. And Alabama takes another timeout, their 2nd timeout. They want to try to capitalize on this field position. They didn't do it the last possession. They're going to see if they can with Shawn Williams this time.
You look. You stare. You hold your breath. Your pulse races. Is it the clarity? Is it the performance? Is it the sleek design? Flat panel high-definition television by Samsung. It's digital temptation, and everyone's invited.
Two minutes, 14 seconds to go before the break. And Alabama about to get good field position again. Jonathan Kilgo on to punt on 4th down and 1. Alabama with 1 timeout left, 2:14 to go before halftime.
To receive for Alabama.
Shawn Williams, the transfer from Texas Tech, playing in his first season at Alabama, awaits this at his own 45-yard line. And the return on all the way. Williams out of the sunlight, grabs it, slips a tackle, looks for a block from Odom, doesn't quite get it, but he does have good field position, and there are no flags on this return.
I would expect to see Alabama try to get the football to Shawn Williams, maybe out of the backfield. They might motion him out of the backfield, try to get him matched up on a linebacker, because he's one of the real playmakers that they have offensively. And again, they need to find somebody that can make a big play. They haven't been able to hit too many big plays against this Georgia defense so far. Again, coming in, this Georgia defense leading the conference in scoring defense. They've only allowed Alabama to put up 3 here in the first half.
Effrey in the center, Coyle the quarterback. And that is Ray Fulgham, number 3 in motion. Screen pass, right side, Shawn Williams picks up 3 to the 36-yard line. Now let's check in once again with Jill Arrington.
Vern, when these two teams met back in 1985, Mike Shula and the Alabama offense drove 71 yards in the final 50 seconds, ending with an Al Bell 17-yard reception and Alabama's victory, 20-16.
All right, Jill, amazing to me that this is only the 4th time that these two teams have played each other while both ranked in the top 25. Only the 4th time ever. Here's Coyle, drills it, there's the pass. The authority that people here hope to see a lot. Sam Collins with the catch at the 30-yard line. Well, of course, Vince Dooley and Bear Bryant went head-to-head 8 different times. Bryant led it 6-2. And Georgia has never won here in Tuscaloosa. 3rd down. Croyle goes for Fulgham. Got it. Touchdown, Alabama.
Perfect call by Les Koenig and a nice read by Brody Croyle. They got the matchup they wanted. Fulgham on the safety, Kentrell Curry. And that's a matchup that favors the receiver, and he beat him to the post for the touchdown.
Bostic for the extra point out of Sam Collins' hold. Snap is good. Ricochet.
What?
No good. Dre Fulgham gets 6. They'll have to settle for 6. It's 14-9.
If you can unlock the secrets of nature, you can find miracles. At DuPont, we've been finding them for 200 years now. Miracles that have taken us from here to there. From this to that. And from where we are to a better, brighter world. DuPont, the miracles of science.
14-9, Alabama closing the gap. And here's what Brody Croyle saw. He sees a strong safety playing man-to-man, and then he has to watch the free safety. If he sees that free safety go away from the slot, he can throw it there. The free safety went to help on Sam Collins, and he makes a beautiful read, throwing it back to Dre Fulgham. Just what Alabama needed. They get the field position, and they capitalize on it with the big throw from the redshirt freshman.
Brody Croyle had a big touchdown toss last week on the road in Arkansas. Tyler Watts looks on, the senior.
I'm impressed with the relationship between these two guys. I mean, Watts and Croyle are very good friends, and Brody told us, you know, last week when I started, I actually talked more with Tyler Watts than I did with Les Koenig. I mean, I wanted to hear what he was seeing and how he was seeing what was happening in the game, and has been very helpful to young Brody Croyle.
Ziepel with the kick, and it is scooped up by Gibson at the 6-yard line. Nice special teams work by Alabama. Williams, number 48, with the tackle, and it will be Georgia's ball with a 5-point lead and 44 seconds remaining in the first half of play.
I'll be surprised if Georgia does anything but just try to get it to the locker room now. Alabama, if they wanted to, could stop the clock one more time. They've got 1 timeout left, but Georgia did a nice job in this first half of mixing things up and of running the ball effectively enough to keep Alabama honest.
Musa Smith rumbles up the middle and out to the 29-yard line, rather. The tackle made by Charles Jones.
When you're running a 2-minute offense, the first play is so critical. That's going to determine if you're going to try to run a couple more plays, if you're going to try to run the clock out. You're running again to Musa.
Kenny King, number 55, with the tackle. One of the 3 seniors on that defensive line for Alabama. And they are in no hurry now to run the next play. 15 seconds to go.
Well, I think Georgia answered the biggest question coming into this game. Would they be tough enough to play and to beat Alabama? And I think the answer is definitely yes. They were very physical on the defensive front and on the offensive front. And they're leading this football game at the half by 5.
Musa Smith with 86 yards on 13 first-half carries, including a 15-yard romp for a touchdown, one of the 2 that Georgia scored in the first half. So they go to break with a 5-point lead, 14-9, and we check in with Jill Arrington.
Coach Fran, how important was that score at the end of the half to keep you in this game and the play of Brody Croyle?
Well, it was pretty big. It got us to 14-9 and got it to a 1-score game at least. So and it give us a little something to build on. We haven't had a lot go our way in this first half.
All right, Coach, good luck. Thanks.
Thank you. 14-9 the score at the break here in Tuscaloosa. And we'll spend this time back in New York with Tim Brando and Spencer Tillman. Tim?
All right, Vern, thank you. Coming up on the Gateway Halftime Report, Spencer and I will have all of today's scores and highlights, including the Gators singing those Oxford Blues after this word from your local station.
Don't miss the new drama CSI Miami, Monday on CBS. It's all here.
I'm Phil Bredesen, and Van Hillary wants you to believe that I somehow secretly favor an income tax. Well, Mr. Hillary, I'll say it again as clearly as I know how. I do not support an income tax. I do not believe it's the solution to our problems in Tennessee. We need better management in state government. We need to fix TennCare, and we have to get Tennessee's economy moving again. That's the change we need, not an income tax.
We're back. Appliance Furniture Warehouse of Cleveland is back to its original location on 25th Street next to Blockbusters. And we're having a grand reopening sale this week only. Come by and take advantage of special sale pricing on appliances, big screen televisions, recliners, and more. Plus, this Saturday, we're having a special appearance of world-famous monster truck Gravedigger from 2 till 5 during the US 101 radio remote. The grand reopening sale of Appliance Furniture Warehouse in Cleveland is going on now, located on 25th Street next to Blockbusters.
A recent survey of Chattanooga homeowners indicated that almost 93% would be interested in buying a home that used natural gas. Only 2% indicated they would prefer an all-electric home. You can now enjoy the warm air comfort of natural gas by taking advantage of Chattanooga Gas Company's low-interest 6.99% financing. For more information, call Keith Heating and Air, a participating Chattanooga gas dealer. That's Keith Heating and Air at 861-2630.
Hardee's Live TV.
Everybody knows, somebody know what I like, because I shake my head like this. Okay. Good. Sometimes I close my eyes too.
Safe Families from News 12, where local news comes first.
The Gateway Halftime Report is sponsored by Gateway. Check out the new Gateway Profile PC, only from Gateway.com.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Gateway Halftime Report. I'm Tim Brando with the score in Tuscaloosa. Georgia man enough to be up by 5 over Alabama, 14-9. Spencer Tillman joins me. Now, a lot of that was a little gamesmanship with Coach Dye and the Bowden factor with Mark Richt.
It's working, though.
Finesse style. What do you think of this game so far?
Well, I think it's working. The physical call, as far as Georgia's concerned, they have responded to that, more aggressive than Alabama coming in. And the difference in this contest, as far as I'm concerned, is the rushing department. Georgia out-rushing Alabama 2-1. Now, you can't expect that from a team that's ranked _1 in rushing and a team that's 11th in the conference. They flip the tables, more aggressive. Green is more execution on that. He's plus and positive today.
Now, when you talk about non-marquee games, what do you get normally? Upsets and near misses. Oklahoma State and Texas. Red River Rivalries next week. Ooh, you got to play Oklahoma State this week. Texas quarterback Chris Sims, who's been maligned when dropping too far back, maybe those 7-step drops. Just look, roll, and find your receiver, B.J. Johnson, for the touchdown. That right before the half. Then after a Texas sack, OSU's John Lewis hauls down this Josh Fields pass in the end zone. Suddenly, they're a 2-point conversion away from overtime. And here's the 2-point conversion. Fields will hit Rashawn Woods. Appears to have his feet in the end zone, but it's ruled no good. Afterwards, Mack Brown, a breather.
Good to be challenged. Credit Oklahoma State for their effort. Credit our guys for having enough confidence to win their 16th straight at home and be 5-0.
And 5-0 for the first time since '83. When you look at the numbers in this game, though, concerning when you know you're going to go up against that vaunted Oklahoma defense next week.
Mack Brown dodged the bullet. Look at the special teams. Missed field goal opportunities, 24, 27, and 37 yards did the Longhorns miss on opportunity to score there. You got to remember, Oklahoma State is the last team to beat Oklahoma and derail their chance of getting back on the national championship track last year. So they're for real. Looking ahead, perhaps, to Oklahoma, where the Longhorns today, Tim.
All right, Florida and Ole Miss, the game we had earlier here on CBS. What a game. We thought it'd be a track meet. Turned out to be a defensive struggle. Rex Grossman caps off a 98-yard drive with his 18-yard touchdown toss to Carlos Perez. That makes it 14-2. Rex Grossman continued to struggle. This was really the backbreaker. The second interception for Matt Greer, big number 44, rumbles in to make it 17-14. And then after that, David Cutcliffe decided to sit on it. And I can understand why. Rex Grossman just could not figure out this Ole Miss defense. Travis Blanchard picks it off, and that pretty much seals the win. And yeah, they were pretty happy afterwards. Andre Ware with David Cutcliffe.
Great job by both sides of the ball. We didn't play great on offense, but a lot of ways to win a game.
They were trying to get the goalpost out of Vaught Hemingway. I don't know if there's an exit wide enough for that to happen. Now, 16 straight games with a touchdown pass for Eli Manning. That is ended today. But you know what? When you look at the numbers, David Cutcliffe was very conservative with his offense after he got the lead, and you understand why, knowing what they did defensively.
Well, he challenged his defensive unit. He called everybody in. Chuck Dreisbeck, his defensive coordinator, called him in, several of his top defensive players, and said, we've got to make plays. And they responded, and how? The corners and the linebackers, outstanding. Between them, 3 interceptions between that group right there. So they answered the clarion call on the part of David Cutcliffe and showed up big time today.
Did they ever? For more scores and stats, go to the Gateway College Football Scoreboard at CBSSportsline.com or on America Online, enter keyword CBS Sportsline. Well, the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame have finally cracked into the end zone a couple of times to make it 16-7 in the third. Rashawn Powers-Neal with his first career touchdown. And on the ground now, the Irish beginning to chew up some yardage against that smallish Stanford team that gives up a lot of air yards as well. Tyrone Willingham going against his old team today. California and Washington. Well, Cal hasn't won in Seattle since '76. Right now, they're up by 5 at the break. Kansas State and Colorado, another unbeaten, untied team in some trouble today against the Buffaloes. Colorado seemingly has gotten on track with Brian Hodge at quarterback, taking over for Craig Oaks, who decided to leave the football program and the school, finding Jeremy Bloom, the mogul skier, going downhill against K-State at Folsom Field in Boulder, and they have the edge over the Kansas State team. Wisconsin and Penn State, wild game. Wisconsin got a lead. Penn State's now 15 unanswered points. B.J. Tucker picks off Zach Mills and will take it 65 yards for the go-ahead score. That would make it 14-13. But you know what happened, Spencer? Time for the Brothers Johnson comeback. From Brian Johnson to Larry Johnson. LJ takes it in. And just a moment ago, Sean McHugh takes it in from a yard out. So the Brothers Johnson right on McHugh, making a 27-14 game. They add the extra point. Texas Tech and Texas A&M are now tied at 41. A field goal with seconds remaining. Robert Treese. So the game is going into overtime. 6 touchdown passes for A&M quarterback Dustin Long. Kevin Sumlin took over the offensive play calling just a couple of weeks ago for R.C. Slocum. Seems to have worked out. Purdue in Iowa, 31-28. The Hawkeyes in this game. Brad Banks putting on a show. Boy, it's a sweet floater here. Watch this one to Dallas Clark. This would put the Hawkeyes up in a wild one over Joe Tiller's club, 31-28. And then Iowa's Adolphus Shelton will pick off Purdue's Brandon Kirsch, who would come in for an ineffective Kyle Orton. That would do it. And the Hawkeyes win it 31-28. Kurt Behrens has done a marvelous job this year. 14-12 Oregon State leading UCLA. That one in the third. Corey Pauls, 15 of 22 for 214. Special teams again.
You betcha.
Dennis Weathersby takes it 83 yards. He's a great cover corner. Now he covers 83 yards. 14-0 Beavers. And then UCLA's Marcus Reese is going to bust through the offensive line. This after UCLA had been stopped on downs. Stopped Steven Jackson to make it 14-12. Well, coming up, we'll tell you how the rest of the SEC did when the Gateway halftime report continues. You got to play a little power football. This one's for you, Pat Guy. Musa Smith, untouched for Georgia.
There's something wonderful about a hamburger. It's one of the few things that brings so much joy. Made fresh, hot off the grill, all juicy and delicious with fresh toppings so it tastes great. It lifts your spirits and makes everything okay. That's the kind of hamburger we make. Wendy's Classic Double with cheese. It's better here. And now Wendy's pickup windows open late so you can eat great even late.
What do you say, boys? Let's go get a couple beers. I don't know, man. I told my gal I'd be home early. Dude, it's The Rock. Be home early, brother. You want to roll with the kid? Rock. I made something. Rock. And I mix it with the hip. Rock. Got money like one. I'll forever be the kid. Rock. What? You said early. Forever.
for cigarettes can appear out of nowhere. Nicorette Stop Smoking Gum, used regularly, will help fight them off. If you encounter a really tough craving, you can take an extra piece of Nicorette. With Nicorette, you can keep cravings at a safe distance. Nicorette helps you quit, one craving at a time.
Is it hot in here? It's a steam room. And once again, you veered off course. A doctor's illegible handwriting causes the warehouse to ship otoscopes instead of stethoscopes.
That'll cause a misdiagnosis.
Or a really weird chest exam. But the doctor logs on to FedEx Insight, spots the order disorder while it's still en route. She has the right parts reshipped stat, and a potential shipping shenanigan gets a FedEx inoculation.
I thought a shenanigan was a good thing.
No, that's a hullabaloo.
Kind of like a brouhaha?
Sure.
It's primal, the way men feel when they first face HD TV. Experience it at Sears, the only national retailer with all the best brands, including Samsung. High definition is impossible to show on your TV, so head to Sears this Saturday. Watch the big game and score 0% financing on Samsung HD TVs. HD TV, see it Saturday. Sears, where else?
Stats, scores, names, and notes of all of our information. It's all coming from one place, the Gateway Research Center. As Georgia looks to go 5-0 for the first time since Herschel Walker was playing, and they went unbeaten in '82. Let's bring you up to date now on some other scores and highlights of games going on around the country. Mississippi State and South Carolina. Coach Yoshie's got to be happy with this one. 34-10, Corey Jenkins with a touchdown pass, a touchdown run. Here to Hart Turner, 26-yard reception from Jenkins, putting the Gamecocks up 14-0. Jackie Sherrill under fire again in Starkville, it appears. Georgia Tech and Wake Forest 14-10 in that game. Barclay, 5 carries, 47 yards, that one in the third. McNeese State, a good Division I AA team, and Jamal Lord put on a show today. He had 369 total yards in a single game, breaking a single game record set by Eric Crouch a bit earlier. He was off to the races there for 57 yards. Pittsburgh and Syracuse today. Well, the Panthers do something they have not done in the Carrier Dome since 1982, and that is beat the Qs. Rod Rutherford drops back, finds Roosevelt Vines wide open. Panthers lead big, 48-3 at that point, and they look to be really strong under Walt Harris. Let's look ahead to next week. Some very big games coming up when you stop and think about it. And I think Tennessee is one of those clubs that really let one get away against Florida.
Well, you can't help but be in a situation where you've got this overwhelming sense of opportunity lost. That loss to Florida really cost them. The league was wide open. And irrespective of what happens in our game today, Alabama and Georgia, it's still going to be wide open. Ole Miss, Florida, that contest today, it's appetizing. It's there for the taking.
A lot of one-loss teams out there. Thanks for watching the Gateway Halftime Report. Coming up, the second half of Georgia-Alabama. Enjoy the rest of the game.
The Gateway Halftime Report is sponsored by Gateway. Check out the new Gateway Profile PC, only from Gateway.com.
Hey, bro, bet you can't eat just one. I reject your wager. This amigo lives by his own code. Now, what would happen if I indulged in another? You see, no eclipse of the sun, no interplanetary realignment, no harmonic convergence.
Introducing Lay's newest taste of America, California Cool Dill Potato Chips. No one can eat just one.
Perhaps I spoke too soon.
Every day, the South wakes up to billions of allergens, from cats and dogs to ragweed and dust. That's why there's Clarinex. Clarinex provides receptor protection to help block histamine. Get 24-hour non-drowsy allergy relief anywhere, anytime. Side effects are similar to sugar pills, including sore throat, dry mouth, and fatigue. Indoor allergies, outdoor allergies, wherever. Talk to your doctor about Clarinex.
If you can unlock the secrets of nature, you can find the miracles. At DuPont, we've been finding them for 200 years now. Miracles that have taken us from cold to warm. From then to now. And on to a safer, healthier world. DuPont, the miracles of science.
Breaking news from Midas. Right now, get guaranteed lifetime brake pads or shoes for just $39.95, and you'll never have to buy brakes again for as long as you own your car. Next stop, Midas. Lifetime brakes. $39.95, only at Midas.
$370 Fortune 500 companies outsource with Kinko's every day.
I want to be a ballerina. I'll be an entrepreneur.
Helping young people realize their dreams.
I want to be a scientist. I want to be a Supreme Court judge.
It just may be the most important thing we do.
I want to be a writer.
The University of Alabama.
I want to play football for the Crimson Tide.
On the NFL Today, the pros dissect the details of the game, from the locker room to your living room. The NFL Today, Sundays at noon on CBS.
(14-9) as we get set for the start of the third quarter of play. Georgia up 14-3 at one point. Thursday on Survivor, the tension between two survivors reaches the breaking point. Now it's the women versus the men. And the challenge you'll have to see to believe. Don't miss an all-new Survivor Thursday at 8 o'clock, 7 Central on CBS, America's most watched network. 14-9, Georgia leads it. We're about set for the start of the second half at Bryant-Denny Stadium, and we'll return with Tuscaloosa right after this message.
It has a sleek, all-in-one design like the Apple iMac computer, only it's faster. Has more storage capacity and can run thousands more software programs. Presenting the remarkable new Gateway Profile 4. Oh, and by the way, did we mention the Gateway Profile costs less than the iMac? Gateway, a better way.
Pizza! Your turn. Hey,
Hold on. Guys, come on. You've been eating this stuff 6 nights in a row. What hell week was over? Let's go to Subway. Something hot, something fresh made. Anything but round and greasy.
How about a hot, mouth-watering Dijon horseradish melt on Monterey cheddar cheese bread? Or a delicious hot sweet onion chicken teriyaki?
Jim, thanks, man.
Football season's back, and so are Subway's 32-ounce trivia cups. Upsize your fresh value meal and grab one today.
New 5-star denim from Wrangler. Wrangler, real, comfortable jeans.
At Michelin, our tires are rigorously tested. They're laser checked, X-rayed for structural integrity. And finally, no tire leaves the factory without a thorough hand inspection. Michelin, because so much is riding on your tires.
Did you know the air in your home can be up to 5 times more polluted than air outside? That indoor pollutants like dander can aggravate allergies and trigger asthma? What can you do? Get the Filtrete Ultra Allergen Reduction Filter. It's up to 30 times better than all other 1-inch filters at capturing airborne dust, bacteria, and pollen. And it meets Health House guidelines. If you don't take care of the air in your home, who will? Filtrete filters from 3M.
Sergio from Rio. Excuse me, you say Sergio? From Rio.
Yes?
Your darkish, lightish hair?
About this high?
Heavy set, thin guy?
You know Sergio.
Yes.
Come China. Wait. Let's go see Sergio.
3-off ice premium malt beverage. Intelligent nightlife.
CBS Tonight. First, two of DC's most powerful men are about to face off.
I don't think we're going down the same road. You can bet on
The battle begins on an all-new district. Then, when two of the CIA's own are hijacked, we have a change of scenario. They're not going down without a fight. An all-new episode of The Agency following an all-new district. CBS Tonight.
Better get the coats. 14-9, Georgia leads it. They jumped out by a 7-0 count, saw it fall to 7-3, then extended the lead 14-3, and then just prior to the half, Alabama struck, missed the extra point, and we stand at 14-9. Georgia had won the toss to open this thing and deferred the option till the second half, so Fred Gibson is back one of two men deep to return the kickoff of Mike Ziepel. Sky kick, shorter than he wanted, I'm sure. And it is taken by Edwards just before it goes out of bounds. Not the best decision. And just a moment ago, Jill Arrington caught up with Georgia coach Mark Richt.
Coach Richt, everyone said this was a statement game coming into today. What did your team prove in the first half?
Well, I think we proved we got a chance to play with these guys. I don't know if anybody gave us a chance, but right now, we've done some good things, but we've missed a few simple assignments that have killed us. And I think the worst thing that happened in the half was not to get the 3rd and 1 that killed us and give them a chance to get the ball again, or it might be 14-3 right now.
All right, Coach, thank you.
All right, Jill, thank you. And the Bulldogs have a first down at the 25-yard line. David Green, his backs are in the eye. There's a fake toss, and Green goes to his left. And he's driven out of bounds by Cornelius Wortham, number 16. Let's take you back through the first half.
Well, this was the play that wasn't. The penalty on Kevin Breedlove negated this fumble recovery by Alabama, and then Georgia, the great touchdown catch by Fred Gibson, and then right before the half, Brody Croyle able to hit Gray Fulgham to draw within 5.
And it is 2nd down and 5 right now. 14-9. Georgia again backs in the eye. There's a fumble. Scramble for the ball, and it's picked up by Herschel Bolden of the Alabama Crimson Tide. And just like that, the senior gives Alabama great field position.
This ball was never cleanly exchanged between the center Ian Knight and David Green. Now watch, the ball's going to get on the ground and get kicked around. That's why David Green couldn't recover it, because it got kicked out from away from the center and all the way to the sideline before Herschel Bolden able to recover it. Looks like they were playing soccer down there. The ball got kicked all the way to the sideline, and a huge break for the Alabama defense.
And in a soccer game here on campus, Alabama defeated Georgia 4-1 yesterday. And Croyle slips.
There's a fumble.
It's fumbled back. The bad exchange, Croyle and Sean Williams. And Georgia gets it
Unbelievable. Now, again, this is a young quarterback in Brody Croyle. And he'll learn from this that when this happens and he gets stepped on by his own lineman and he's going down, forget the play. Abort the play, take the loss, but don't turn the football over. Don't try to hand off when this happens. You can see Brody Croyle is going to get stepped on by his center, Ephraim, and then he just tries to flip it to Sean Williams, who was expecting a handoff. You don't do that. You just go ahead and eat the ball, take the loss, and Georgia, wow, they dodged a bullet there.
Back-to-back exchange of fumbles. 1st and 10 Bulldogs at the 21. And Green gets the start with a fresh set of downs. Quick setup. Fires it out to his left, and that's Edwards out to the 35-yard line. And a 1st down and 10 for the Georgia Bulldogs. Well, I guess we must talk about, Todd, the Pat Dye factor in all of this. The former Georgia player and Auburn coach who challenged his alma mater to play tough in this one.
Yeah, I guess his alma mater is not going to expect a contribution this year, because they got one, because this team answered that challenge physically. How do you know
They ran for 108 yards in the first half, and they held Alabama, the best running team in this conference, to 57 yards. So they did what they needed to do up front.
Here's the draw play. Musa Smith in the secondary and all the way across the 50 to the 45 of Alabama.
You know, you say those numbers, 108 yards rushing in the first half. You say, well, that's not that huge. Ian Knight, the center, with a nice block on the inside on Ahmad Childress. They just did a nice job of opening things up. But this is a team coming into the game that was 11th in the conference and 95th in the country running the football. Only 112 yards per game.
Here's the toss, almost a face mask. It is a face mask. There's a flag down. I remember talking with Mark Richt before we did the South Carolina game, and he said he really wasn't that happy with Musa Smith. He wanted more out of him. And he told us this week he's getting that additional effort from him.
Well, I think we're seeing that. And again, we made the point that he should be pretty well rested. They were able to limit his carries the last 2 games. And he's been fresh the whole night. And they've been able to ride him and lean on him in this ball game.
An incidental face mask on the defense, 5 yards from the previous spot. Replay first down.
Now let's check the halftime numbers that Todd alluded to.
Again, the rushing yards, that's the biggest thing. The averaging 112 yards per game. They get 108 in the first half, and they hold Alabama to 57.
Tony Milton, number 9, going around the left side. And we've got a moment. Let's go back to New York and check in with Tim Brando.
That wild and wacky Pac-10, a little like the SEC, isn't it, Vern? Derek Anderson of Oregon State is intercepted by Ricky Manning of UCLA. He'll bring it back 33 yards. Bob Toledo's team now up by 12, 26-14. Back to Vernon Todd.
All right, Tim, thank you. 14-9 here, and after the penalty, first down, Georgia.
Fred Gibson, single coverage down at the bottom.
Here's Green. Looks left. And that's Michael Johnson, number 25, with the catch. And a pickup of 12 yards.
Now, what's happened in this game, I mean, the whole first half and now again in this drive, is Georgia has been able, for the most part, to keep the Alabama defense off balance. They've been able to mix enough passing in there to go with the running game, and they've not allowed that defensive front that has been so good for Alabama to control the football game.
There's J.T. Wall, the fullback, with a rare carry. And look at him struggle down to the 11-yard line. And that's a gain of 9 for the 260-pound senior.
That's his 3rd carry in the ball game. So they're mixing up everything, giving it to Musa, giving it to the fullback. And so far, again, the leaders of this defense, Kenny King, Jarrett Johnson on the inside, very quiet.
On 2nd down and 1, ball moved near the 10-yard line. See if they got enough. And David Green seems much more comfortable.
He sure does. I mean, you can see it in his eyes. I mean, he looks like he's competing, like he's very sure of himself. He knows what they wanted to do game plan-wise coming in. And he is just, again, those numbers are not huge, but he's managing the football game. He's getting them into good running plays.
I recall that Mark Richt just told Jill Arrington he really was sorry they didn't convert a 3rd and 1 that allowed Alabama to get on the board. Here is an equally significant 3rd and 1.
Yeah, you want a touchdown instead of a field goal here if you can help it.
Wall got the first down at the 9-yard line. And we saw Musa Smith coming off in a bit of pain. Let's get an update from Jill Arrington.
Well, Vern, Musa Smith's experiencing a little cramping in that right leg. He's stretching and drinking some fluids, and he should be back in the game.
All right, Jill, thank you. 105 yards already for the tailback from Georgia. And Alabama with only 52, and this is an Alabama team that averages better than 240 yards per game on the ground.
Georgia, we talked about that balance and keeping Alabama off balance. They've averaged over 8 yards on first down. That is outstanding football.
Tony Milton goes left, spins, hit, stopped after a gain of 1.
See, when you're effective on first down with both your running and your passing game, and you get a lot of third down and shorter situations, we just saw him convert 3rd and 1, it really gives you an advantage as an offense.
And at least for the moment, Musa Smith.
I would bet that he's maybe going in and maybe going to get an IV to get some fluids in him a little bit faster. Again, a very humid day here in Tuscaloosa.
Gibson, bottom of the screen. Here's Green, and his receiver slipped and fell at the goal line, Terrence Edwards. And no flags.
Another big 3rd down play for the Alabama defense. Again, they're down 5. That's okay. They don't want to get too far behind with and put the young quarterback Brody Croyle in too tough of a situation here. It's only his 2nd start.
J.T. Wall is a late addition to the Georgia huddle. 12 seconds on the play clock. And they break with 8 seconds to go.
Yeah, they may have to call timeout here.
2, 1. I don't know if he got it called in time. He did not. That's really inexcusable.
That is inexcusable. I mean, David Green's got to know that they have very little chance to get this one off.
Dead ball. Delay of game.
You just can't do this. I mean, you see the play clock, he's looking at it. He knows where it's at. He's got to make that call. I mean, instead of being 3rd and 9, now 3rd and 14.
Well, it becomes a tired litany, but clock management again becomes an issue for Georgia, as J.T. Wall was very late coming into the huddle.
That's right. They were late getting the right people on the field, but David Green's got to handle that situation.
From the 14, 3rd and goal.
I wouldn't give Fred Gibson a big cushion down here. Don't let him throw a fade to him in the corner. He's at the bottom of the screen.
They're giving him a pretty good cushion right now. Here's Green loose. Traced by Roach out of bounds. He did not get it. And a flag is down.
Flag down back in the area where you would expect holding on Georgia. And again, you go back to the penalty. I mean, if they don't get the 5-yard delay, David Green maybe scores on that play. But when you put it back on the 14-yard line, a little bit tougher to get to the end zone.
Well, interesting decision now. No, it really is no decision. That was a 3rd down play. So.
Well, I think you back them up. I mean, you back them up here, and they still can't get a 1st down. They've got to go all the way to the end zone.
On the offense,
make the field goal attempt a little bit longer.
You play 3rd down.
Well, David Green grew up in Snellville. That's his dad wearing number 14 in the cap. Rick Green was a coach of that Pee Wee team that featured David Green and his best friend David Pollock. They were Gwinnett County champions of the South Part for 5 years running. Now here's Green in a game of a little more import. Handoff goes to Tyson Browning, the freshman, number 31.
Kendall Moorhead all over that one. Mark Richt thinking maybe he could slip a draw in there, not to get to the end zone. I think he's thinking field goal here all the way. His defense is playing pretty good. A field goal makes it an 8-point ball game. And when you can't get a 1st down, it's tough to throw one to the end zone when you're back on the 25-yard line. The defense doesn't have to defend depth of field.
Left hash mark, Kilgo, that's a snap that was low. He gets the hold down, and Bennett knocks it through from 43. Fine job by Jonathan Kilgo of getting the ball in place for Billy Bennett's 43-yard field goal.
Hey, hand me that there, Reg? Yeah.
Oh. What do you think? I got that at church or something?
What? He puts money in your wallet in case you're like flat on your back. What? Never heard of it. Well, you can get it at work. Get what?
Aflac. Ask about it at work.
Get to the October Power Drive at your local GMC dealer for an extra $500 bonus cash on professional-grade trucks and SUVs. Every new Yukon, Envoy, and newly redesigned Sierra. The power of GMC can be yours with the power of these great offers. Get 0% APR or $1,500 cash back on every new GMC, plus an extra $500 October bonus cash. See dealer for details. Upgrade to professional grade during Power Drive. See the pros at your local GMC dealer before it all ends October 31st.
.370 Fortune 500 companies outsource with Kinko's every day.
Welcome to Sonic. May I take your order, please?
Ask a child where they'd like to go on vacation, and most likely it's the same place you'd like to go. A place where families can make memories together. A place where magic happens every day. And no one can take you there like Alamo, the official rental car of Walt Disney World Resort. Get a free child's breakfast with a favorite Disney character when you rent an Alamo car for as little as $130 per week. Alamo, the official rental car of the American vacation.
After Raymond, meet America's favorite new dad.
Just finding my keys. Why don't you try the pants you had on yesterday?
Oh, good idea. Hang on. Nope, not there. The smash hit comedy still standing Monday.
His crowd of better than 83,000 silenced for the moment by the turn of events. A fumble recovered by Herschel Bolden seemed to have given Alabama terrific field position inside the 15. But the subsequent first down play resulted in a fumble from Brody Coyle to Sean Williams. Recovery by Georgia. They drove nearly the length of the field and got 3 points. Triondo Salute, one of 2 men deep, awaiting the kick from Brett Kerouac. Here's Ray Hudson, the second. 17-9, Georgia trying to win in Tuscaloosa for the first time ever. Nice kick. Hudson all the way through the end zone. And that will come out to the 20. We'll spend a moment back in New York. Once again, here's Tim Brenda.
All right, Vern. Brooks Bollinger goes to work again, this time to Brandon Williams, an 8-yard reception to make it 28-20. Wisconsin's inside the 30 again at Penn State, trailing by 8. And Texas A&M does lose to Texas Tech. The difference of the game, the last 2 touchdowns by A&M, they missed their extra points, including overtime, and Dustin Long, 7 touchdown passes for the Aggies. Vern?
My.
Special teams. I mean, this first month of the season, or I guess it's a month and a half since we started mid-August this year, but special teams, so many breakdowns and plays in the special teams that have decided football games.
On first down, play action, Brody Coyle chased by Pollock, delivers it a little low but catchable, and the catch made up at the 27-yard line. Corey Bryant is injured.
It's a tough throw by Brody Coyle with a guy like David Pollock bearing down on you, moving away from him and throwing to receiver on the move. That's a pretty good throw. Brings up 2nd and 3.
Bryant's going to be okay. 2nd down 3 at the 27-yard line. Johnson and Collins break off to the right. Triondos Luke and Dre Fulgham split off to the left. Here's Sean Williams with that lead draw, and boy, Georgia stayed home. Got that one diagnosed. Tony Gilbert in the middle, number 42. Gilbert, one of the leaders of this defense, made a great sacrifice for his team this summer. Long known for his coiffure, dreadlocks. Steve Hummer in the Atlanta Journal said when he decided to cut his hair, he faced an issue of to dread or not to dread. And according to Steve Hummer, Tony Gilbert finally decided dread not.
He's an excellent football player. Hair or no hair. I mean, he, coming out of high school, they didn't think he was big enough or fast enough, and he's proved that wrong.
Here's Coyle. He got Sean Williams to the 30-yard line. That should be enough for a first down. Sean Williams, who coming out of Andrews High School out in West Texas, was recruited by Dennis Franchione. Mark Tummerdahl, the special teams coach, actually was his recruiter for TCU.
Right.
When Dennis was there. Well, he opted to go to Texas Tech, where he ran for, in one game against Colorado, 230 yards as a freshman. But they changed coaches, went to a passing offense. He let it be known that he wanted to leave Texas Tech, and his grant was given, and he came to Alabama.
Tech wouldn't release him to any Big 12 school or a school in the state of Texas, but Alabama they had no problem with. And he told us yesterday that he fell in love with the place as soon as he got off the plane, and he committed and told Coach Fran he was coming here before he left to go home. I mean, he loved it here in Alabama.
There's Jonathan Sullivan with that last tackle, and Shaud Williams is back on the field. He had to sit out, of course, the transfer season last year, and Dennis Franchione said he kind of got lost in the shuffle, and they were at practice. He was working with the scout team like week 10 of the season. And Coach Fran went up and said, Shaud, are you doing okay? You happy here? And he said, absolutely. I love playing here. Croyle shovels it to Shaud Williams. And that is not ruled down as Croyle adroitly found Williams, and they got something out of nothing.
Well, you can't say enough about the front people for Georgia in this football game. They have held their own against the run. They're pressuring Brody Croyle, David Pollock, Jonathan Sullivan, Darius Swain in there, and they force Brody Croyle into an improv situation, and the youngster makes a nice play, just avoiding the sack and getting rid of the football.
3rd and 6. Georgia with 4 down, threatens a blitz. They're bringing 6 men. Croyle pumps, he'll scramble. Gets a block from Evan Mathis, and then a nice open field drop by Bruce Thornton. Cuts him down.
You know, you can't emphasize enough how being in a system more than 1 year can make a big difference. Brian Van Gorder, the defensive coordinator for Georgia, last year was his first year, a new system, new coach, new philosophy, and they are so much better this year, the second year in this system. And they have just been very sound in the football game today. Sound against the run, sound against the pass.
Michael Ziefel has had a standout afternoon punting in place of the injured Lane Bearden. This one, low, returnable.
Got careless with that one.
Yes, he did. It was Damian Gary, one-on-one. Flag is down. Gary is down.
The penalty down, too. We're going to have an illegal block by Georgia on the play. But he's done Zeifel's done a nice job of putting that right by the sideline, and that time he kicked it too close to the middle of the field and gave Damian Gary a chance.
That's a 33-yard punt, 11 on the return. Gary, ever so dangerous. We mentioned he had a punt return for a TD last week, and averaging better than 17.5 yards per return.
And the amazing thing, too, is this season already he's had returns of...
On the receiving team, 10 yards from the spot of the foul, first down.
He's had returns of 26, 42, and 80 yards called back by penalties. So, I mean, he is really dangerous back there.
Midway through the 3rd quarter, Bryant-Denning Stadium in Tuscaloosa, Georgia by 8.
Raindrops on roses and whiskers on kittens. Bright copper kettles and warm wood and mittens. Silver white whiskers that melt in the spring. Are a few of my favorite things. These are a few of my favorite things.
Depot SEC on CBS is sponsored by Pontiac, Gateway, Aflac, and by Coors Light.
Now, Uga seems agitated. Just slightly so. Uga the 6th. Oh, dear. Average yards on first down, almost 8 for Georgia.
And that's big because that means you're playing downhill or ahead of the chains, however you want to say it. It means you keep the defense off balance.
Here's Green. Kendall Moore got there, number 54. And let's spend a moment down on the sidelines with Jill Arrington. Jill?
Well, Vern, it's very hot and humid out here, and we said Musa Smith is experiencing some cramps. They have taken him into the locker room for an IV. And Tony Milton, he's banged up. It looks like they're checking his head for a head injury.
All right, thank you, Jill. Loss of 3, second down and 13.
Well, that makes them very thin. And not only thin, but they're going with a young guy in Tyson Browning.
Here's Green out of the backfield. Left side, caught by Damian Gary, number 18. That's a gain of 10. Let's get a much anticipated update on Penn, Kansas State.
All right, Vern, Kansas State does get into the end zone. Darren Sproles, a 3-yard jaunt. Colorado just can't stand prosperity. Late in the third, 35-28 Buffaloes.
All right, Tim, thank you.
You know, we talk about Georgia, a team that a lot of people maybe not giving enough respect. Kansas State, one of those teams that doesn't seem to get enough respect most years.
Flag is down. Tyson Browning has the play. If it stands, it's going to be out of bounds at the 50-yard line and a first down. Redshirt freshman has come back from a bit of misfortune on his first collegiate carry ever in the game against South Carolina when on a first and goal he fumbled.
This was a well-executed play other than the fact that they had a false start. It was a hot release by Tyson Browning, meaning he didn't have to stay in and block anybody, and nobody picked him up from Alabama, assuming he was going to stay in and block and help protect David Green. But it was a free release for him, and it would have been a nice play.
Illegal formation on the offense. Only 6 men on the line of scrimmage. 5-yard penalty. Replay the down.
Boy, a well-designed play, a well-executed play goes for naught because they don't get enough guys up on the line. And now, an even tougher 3rd down and 8 play.
Three wide receivers to the right side. Green, pressure's coming. Pass incomplete. Cornelius Wortham was right in his face.
Well, they tried to throw the screen, and it was set up beautifully. I mean, if they could have just made the connection to Tyson Browning. Watch, Browning is going to come over and set up the screen right over here, and David Green just can't get him the football because of the pressure. Now, you let pressure come in on a screen, and David Green just couldn't get it down enough because they had a wall of blockers set up.
That brings on Jonathan Kilgo for the 4th time this afternoon, and Shawd Williams to return for Alabama. He's at the 30. Nice high and very deep. Williams drifts back 10 yards and takes it at the 20. Tackled at the 27-yard line. Stop made by Kenny King. That's a 50-yard punt, 7 on the return. 4 minutes and 18 seconds to go in quarter number 3. Bulldogs lead the Crimson Tide by 8.
I'm sorry, you're asking which Sonic wrap do you want? Grilled chicken, chicken strip, Fritos chili cheese. And you were asking?
I said, do you want to get married?
Back to your question.
This month at Sonic, you're between a wrap and a hard place. Choose between our latest twist on chili, the new Fritos Chili Cheese Wrap, or any of our other great wraps. And right now, add a creamy vanilla cone for an incredible 25 cents.
Yeah, hi. I'm having a problem with my PC.
No, it's not us. Call the maker.
Wait. What? Hello? Yeah, my PC isn't, yeah, I tell them no call. Wait.
Not us.
But, wait, I have a... Wait. Boiler room. boiler room.
Tired of getting the runaround? Then come to your local Gateway store, where our friendly staff is ready to help you. We offer in-store training and service, plus all the cool stuff you need to make sure you get the most from your PC. Gateway, a better way.
Get to the October Power Drive at your local GMC dealer for an extra $500 bonus cash on professional-grade trucks and SUVs. Every new Yukon, Envoy, and newly redesigned Sierra. The power of GMC can be yours with the power of these great offers. Get 0% APR or $1,500 cash back on every new GMC, plus an extra $500 October bonus cash. See dealer for details. Upgrade to professional grade during Power Drive. See the pros at your local GMC dealer before it all ends October 31st.
Tomorrow, they'll feel the heat in Miami when the Pats come to town. Plus, Priest Holmes and the Chiefs take on the Jets. It's coast-to-coast coverage, and we'll get you primed on the NFL Today.
Join Jim and the group on the NFL Today tomorrow. Deion Sanders will check out the Raiders' record breakers. Marcus Allen has a scoop on the Chiefs' three-point man, Green, Gonzalez, and Holmes. That's tomorrow, the NFL Today on CBS. Brody Coyle, redshirt freshman quarterback from Rainbow City, Alabama. Will take it and pitch it to the right side to Santonio Beard, and he gets a block from Sam Collins. And they move the ball all the way out across the 42-yard line. Brody Coyle, whose father John was a star defensive end for Bear Bryant from 71 to 73. In 1974, his sister Reagan Coyle played basketball here. She was also the homecoming queen in 2000 and is married to John David Phillips, a former Alabama quarterback. And there is John Coyle, who in 1974 began a home for wayward boys called the Big Oak Ranch. And now it is a home for unfortunate and abused boys and girls. Here's Coyle, pressure coming. Tony Gilbert finds Santonio Beard. And out to the 45-yard line, that's a gain of 5. Matter of fact, Leroy Jordan, an old friend from his Dallas Cowboy days and a legend here in Alabama, was back for a fundraising golf tournament that was held yesterday afternoon. Bobby Humphrey among those. I'm familiar with that and recognize this man.
Good ball,
Bart Starr.
That's how he's put it all day.
That's the way Bart Starr used to throw all day long.
Boy, I like this kid's presence. I mean, his ability to improvise, to get rid of the football, to make something happen as a young freshman, very impressive.
There's Williams getting a block out on the corner from Brandon Greer. That was the most significant block of 3 or 4 that freed him around the right side.
Yeah, 2 huge running plays in this drive. The first one, he got the big block from Sam Collins. This time, Brandon Greer is going to be the guy who gets the block, number 81. You can't run on the perimeter if your wide receivers don't block. And there's Brandon Greer right there, number 81, with a big-time block. And Williams gets about 5 more yards because of it.
That's a gain of 12. Brandon Greer comes out to the near side.
Prior to this drive, Alabama only 51 yards rushing in the game.
Just a couple on this carry. And we'll go back once again to New York for Tim Brando.
All right, Vern, let's take a look at our Kinko's top performance of the day. Chaz Gesner, 24 receptions for Brown against Rhode Island today, tying a Division I AA record for receptions held by Jerry Rice of Mississippi Valley in '83. Back in those days, Vern, Jerry was catching passes from Willie Totten in Archie Cooley's gunslinger offense.
I do remember. I'm among those who remembers vividly. 2:42 to go, third quarter. Second down and 8 at the 41. Here's the option pitch back. Left side, Ray Hudson. He's got some speed. He breaks the tackle. Hudson, touchdown. Flag is down as well, back at the 38-yard line.
Yeah, it's going to come back. It was a hold on the outside by Zach Fletcher, one of the wide receivers. We just got done talking about these wide receivers blocking downfield, and I thought it was a pretty good block. You know, that option play to the wide side of the field takes a long time to develop, so those guys have to stay on blocks for a long time, and that time, Zach Fletcher got a little too aggressive. Boy, 2 plays in this ball game. That one and the fumble recovery that got to the 1-yard line, both called back because of penalties.
During the run, holding, gets the offense, 10-yard penalty, 3-play second down.
That wipes out a 41-yard touchdown run by Ray Hudson.
Yeah, but what is being set up right now for Alabama because of the option here in this series is the play-action pass off that option. They've run it enough to make Georgia respect it, and they're going to get a big play out of the play-action off this option very soon, I think, or at least an opportunity for one.
2nd down and 14. There's the option again. Santonio Beard. Colgan does not get the block on the corner. Let's revisit that holding penalty that wiped out the touchdown.
Again, they ran it to the wide side of the field, and right here, down at the bottom, these receivers are trying to hang on to blocks for a long time, and that's Zach Fletcher holding to Corey Bryant. And again, it just took so long to get to him. There you see Sam Collins blocking downfield. These guys are doing a great job. You don't yell at a receiver for that because he's busting his butt to make a block. You just got to keep those hands in.
3rd and 12.
Some of those guys go out there and do Olay blocks, you know, the Matador kind.
Three-man Georgia rush. Coyle got his man Fletcher, who makes amends with the catch and has a 1st down at the 20-yard line.
Wow. Did Brody Coyle zip that thing in or not? Now, I'm going to say something here. I love Tyler Watts. I think he's a great kid. He's a great competitor. But he cannot make this throw. I mean, Brody Coyle got rid of it quick and zipped it right in there in the seam to Zach Fletcher. And this is the dimension that Brody brings to this offense, the ability to make big throws down the field.
Well, they have been mentioning other number 12s in Alabama lore in connection with Brody Coyle. In recent weeks, here's Santonio Beard, a couple to the 20-yard line. Of course, Joe Namath wore that number 12 so proudly back in the early 60s, and a guy named Ken Stabler wore it when he played here, a little beyond that. There they are. 62-64. Brody Coyle's roommate is the defensive captain or senior, Jared Johnson. And Jared Johnson said they roomed together here in Tuscaloosa. When Tyler Watts went down, he looked at Brody Coyle and he said, listen, whose team is this now? And Brody Coyle looked him straight in the eye and said, it's mine. And he said, you bet it is. Act like it and lead it. So as a redshirt freshman, he's been given the charge from his roommate and a senior. Here's Coyle to the 19-yard line.
What a football player Tony Gilbert is. He's fun to watch. I mean, this guy flies all over the field. And again, you know, when he was coming out of high school, most people didn't think he was good enough to play Division I-A. 6 foot, 244 now out of Macon Central High School. And the only two teams that offered him scholarships were Georgia and Alabama. He came to Georgia, and now he's kind of going through the same skepticism as the NFL considers Tony Gilbert. Again, is he's too short maybe, he's not fast enough, but you think of guys like Chris Spielman and Zach Thomas who have played great in this league that are very much play the game the same way that Tony Gilbert plays.
3rd and 8 from the 19. Coyle, low, incomplete, 4th down. There's John Coyle, a former defensive end for Bear Bryant. Here's Jared Johnson.
They're big hunting buddies.
Yes.
You know, they get along. Kind of unusual to have a senior and a redshirt freshman, but they got a lot in common.
Well, some things they don't have in common. Jared Johnson said he's the neat one.
Yeah, I don't know if I believe that. Defensive lineman. Come on.
A quarterback being messy?
Yeah, I mean, that's an oxymoron.
Brian Bostic from 36 yards out. Yes. I was leaning on the no.
And that was nearly blocked. I mean, Georgia got great pressure up on the inside and almost blocked that kick.
Boy, that one just did limp through. 17-12.
Pushing myself to the limit is what this is all about, and I need an antiperspirant that can keep up. Now there's new High Endurance Clear Gel. Try it. If you don't like it, Old Spice will buy you a stick of something else. A Clear Gel that strong? I'm there. New Old Spice High Endurance Clear Gel.
I was really hurting, so I took control, fast, with Advil Liquid Gels. Tylenol's no match on tough pain. Advil Liquid Gels are faster and stronger.
You have the strength to get rid of pain faster. Take control. Take Advil.
Monday,
No shark has ever solved a crime until this one spilled its guts.
This all there is?
The rest of them's probably out there.
All new CSI Miami, CBS Monday.
5-point game, 18 seconds to go. Brody Croyle wearing number 12, and he is very cognizant of the significance of that number at Alabama.
Ever since I was, sophomore in high school, the old coaches would always put number 12 on my letters and stuff like that. But I really didn't understand what that number meant until, I started getting more towards my senior year and once I got down here. And, it's really a, historic number down here. And, I'm going to try not to embarrass him.
I don't think he's going to embarrass him. There's Kenny Stabler, who wore it in 1967, serving now as a radio analyst for the Alabama Crimson Tide. Brody Croyle, his team got 3 out of that drive. Here is the kick. Fair catch. Called for and taken inside the 30. Robert Brannon. Now, John Croyle played in the defensive line, but he understands what you're supposed to do on offense. That was John reacting to the missed pass on 3rd down. What a job he's done with the Big Oak Ranch in Rainbow City, Alabama. Brody Croyle played for a high school that is associated with the ranch called Westbrook Christian.
We've got a bunch of fans down there in that home, too, cheering for Brody Croyle.
1st down and 10, Georgia. Here's David Green. Coming left, he finds Greg Gibson. And Gibson knocked out of bounds at the 45-yard line.
I really like the mixing it up on 1st down that Mark Richt has had with. That was the 10th pass on 1st down, or the 9th pass, and they've gone 9 rushes. So they've really kept it balanced. 9 rushes, 9 passes, and they've kept the Alabama defense back on their heels a little bit. 1st down, such a critical down. As you take a look at our quarterback numbers in the game, both pass defenses are not allowing the big play on defense. So David Green on 1st down has been pretty effective.
That's the end of the 3rd quarter with our score. Georgia 17, Alabama 12. Will return to Bryant-Denny Stadium right after this message and this word from your local station.
PCS Vision from Sprint. Now your employees can connect with the office network when they're away, right from a PCS phone. Exchange email, contacts, and calendars just like on a computer, instantly. You mean I couldn't have said it better myself.
Introducing PCS Vision from Sprint. See the power behind the PCS Clear Wireless Workplace.
This carefree bachelor has a new woman in his life, his long-lost daughter.
I just know you're going to be a wonderful father.
Graham and Alice premieres Sunday after Becker.
This is CBS, America's most watched network.
He's here! There he is!
People can't contain their excitement about Domino's Pizza new Buffalo Chicken Kickers. Tender cuts of all white chicken breast with a kick of spicy buffalo flavor baked through and through. 10 pieces for $5.99.
You're the chicken man.
Get the door and get a kick out of dinner tonight. Now get an order of Cinesticks free when you buy a large one-topping pizza for $9.99.
Big news. Now get free long distance from Cricket. Introducing Cricket Talk. It's Cricket's famous unlimited local calling, along with these great calling features. All for just $39.99 a month, plus 500 minutes of anytime U.S. long distance available each month free. Cricket, comfortable wireless. See store for details.
People enjoy first-class treatment. First class. That's what our customers say about our people, our products, and our performance. R.J. Young provides first-class service and innovative document solutions. Like the Ricoh 6110 color copier or the Ricoh 850 black and white printer copier. At R.J. Young, we believe you deserve no less than first class.
Hardee's Live TV.
This particular burger would not be good on your first date because it makes you look unattractive. When you're eating this in front of someone, you can't hold anything back, you know? Look at the circumference of that. I mean, you can't do it delicately. Look at her face. Would you want to kiss that?
Storm Team 12 keeps you covered with Doppler Net 12,000.
We welcome you back to Bryant-Denny Stadium on the campus of the University of Alabama in Tuscaloosa. Vern Lundquist, Todd Blackledge, Jill Arrington. This one of the great settings in college football, and a game to match this afternoon. 17-12 as we start the fourth quarter play. Play action, Green, right side, Gibson. He's with Herschel Bolden out there, and one-on-one. Big play.
Cushion, yeah, and a huge cushion. Bolden given a little bit too much respect to Gibson on that.
Todd, we've talked a little bit about the heat. It was 89 degrees with 63% humidity. It's been debilitating down on the field.
Yeah, and we've seen some guys go off with cramps, and I really think in this last 15 minutes, whichever team's strength and conditioning program really kicks in is going to tell the winner. It's going to be the last one standing in this football game. A physical 15 minutes left, and Musa Smith has to be a big guy for Georgia.
Musa Smith back on the field after fighting cramps. And we check in once again with Tim Brando in New York.
Well, Vern, you know, we certainly were going to have to show you the #1 team according to the New York Times, right? Shane Walton with a pickoff en route to a 31-7 win for the Irish today over Stanford. Next week they'll take on Pittsburgh. How about that? The Irish #1 and USC #2 according to the New York Times.
Yeah, that computer poll, Tim, and I remember I think they had Texas ranked 29th in the country, something like that. Here's Green. Comes to the near side. It is incomplete. And, of course, Todd, you've got some thoughts about polls and when they should be taking place.
Well, my personal opinion is there should not be any polls taken until the first week of October. I don't think you know enough about teams. You take a look at the AP Top 10, and, you know, so much has been talked about this Georgia team. And I'll tell you what, Tennessee ranked number 10. A lot of times those rankings are more on potential and the kind of explosive players they have, but it's not based on production. I don't think before today that Georgia or Tennessee have performed like top 10 teams. Now, Georgia today, I think, has stepped up to the challenge, and they have really answered some of the questions about this football team.
Alabama has taken a timeout. Stops the clock with 14:03 to go.
And the third little pig's house was made of brick.
Just like ours?
Yeah, just like ours. Only the floors were a lot nicer, with Berber in the living room and ceramic tile in the kitchen.
Great. It's autumn inspiration at the Home Depot, with no payments and no interest on flooring purchases till January 2004 with your Home Depot credit card. Plus, buy carpet and installation, get the carpet pad free. Only at the Home Depot and Expo Design Center.
I don't know how you do it. I put together some really impressive deals. But this thing you've pulled off, it's amazing. A big and tasty for just $1? How do you do it? What's your secret?
Got a buck? You're in luck. Because you can get a delicious beefy big and tasty, a McChicken sandwich, and lots of your other favorites on McDonald's Dollar Menu every day.
Together, Grimace, we could own this town.
Ask a child where they'd like to go on vacation, and most likely it's the same place you'd like to go. A place where families can make memories together. A place where magic happens every day. And no one can take you there like Alamo, the official rental car of Walt Disney World Resort. Get a free child's breakfast with a favorite Disney character when you rent an Alamo car for as little as $130 per week. Alamo, the official rental car of the American vacation.
Tonight on The Agency, when two of the CIA's own are hijacked. We haven't changed the scenario. They're not going down without a fight. A new episode of The Agency, CBS tonight.
Georgia Band made the trip over from Athens. This team back at home against Tennessee next week at Sanford Stadium, and we'll be there for that one. A third down right now as Georgia clings to a 5-point lead with 14:03 to go. Musa Smith and J.T. Wall on either side of David Green, who will take this from the shotgun formation. 3rd and 10. 3 men down. Here they come for Alabama. Here comes a delayed blitz. Green has Damian Gary open inside the 25.
What a catch. Oh, and Damian Gary just made a bonehead move. You know, they get dog bones to put on their helmets for good plays. This was a bonehead move by Damian Gary. He makes a huge catch, reaches behind him, makes a great catch on a long 3rd down play, and then he gets up and he celebrates too much and he gets a penalty. You know, I mean, you don't need to do this. Oh, man.
Now look at the other side of it. He'll fulfill a lifelong dream of being on a highlight show.
I mean, I'm all in favor of letting guys enjoy the game and celebrate with their teammates and have fun. But I mean, when you take it too far on a play like that, I mean, you just hurt your team.
And there is a player down on the play. Taunting, unsportsmanlike conduct. Herschel Bolden is the injured player.
See, now, if he just does this, they probably let it go. But he takes 2 steps, 3 steps, 4 steps, and it's unnecessary. I mean, again, let the guys have fun. You don't have to police that too stringently, but...
Now, Herschel Bolden, they'll take great care with him.
Yes.
Well, this has been a closely fought game. There was a big play earlier in the ball game. It was the 5-star play of the game presented by Wrangler, and here's the call from Larry Munson.
Corner, and Green comes back. They're coming up behind him. He doesn't see him. He throws a long pass to Fred Gibson, who caught the ball. He fell down, but he caught it on his back. Fred Gibson, a sensational catch down on the goal line with Madison the corner with him. Caught a one-handed ball lying on his whatchamacallit, and Fred Gibson scored sliding in the end zone.
There's Larry Munson, 80 years old last week.
Crucial first down in there close.
Herschel Bolden still down on the field.
Quite close to the goal line, but now we're way out. Let's take a timeout
right
here. Pause
this.
for these words on the Georgia Bulldog Radio Network.
If you can unlock the secrets of nature, you can find miracles. At DuPont, we've been finding them for 200 years now. Miracles that protect us from fire, and bullets, and injuries. Miracles that will take us to a healthier, safer world. DuPont, the miracles of science.
Miami beats Minnesota in ice hockey. North Dakota wins National Surfing Championship. Nebraska drops football for badminton. Just a reminder from Olympus Cameras, nothing's impossible.
Introducing the Cheese Extreme Quesadilla. See mozzarella, pepper jack, cheddar, and nacho cheese sauce form a taste to die for. Don't miss the new Cheese Extreme Quesadilla.
So good.
Makes you want to be bad.
Smart move, Dave. Consolidated with Dell PowerEdge servers. Highly available, highly scalable. Intel Xeon processors. Cuts costs across the board. So you're not going to miss those old servers, right?
Oh, Tony. What did you do with the old servers?
Nothing.
That's our drinking fountain, isn't it?
You mean Hydra?
Find out how you can cut costs across your enterprise. Easy as Dell. Call or go online today.
The Home Depot SEC on CBS is sponsored by DuPont, Taco Bell, Bud Light, and by Yamaha.
Just a moment ago, Herschel Bolden was able to get to his feet unassisted and walk off, so a stinger, I would think.
Yeah, just had his head down and had a nice collision in there with Damian Gary and got his head down on it.
After the penalty on Damian Gary, it's first down from the 38-yard line. Here's Green going for it all to Terrence Edwards. In stride, touchdown, Georgia. Anthony Madison, for the second time in this ball game, has been victimized.
Alabama chose to blitz. That means single coverage. Anthony Madison, this time on Terrence Edwards, and a perfect throw under pressure by David Green. You wait for your chances to go deep. And they waited perfectly that time.
Terrence Edwards, the second all-time leading receiver in the history of Georgia football, making amends for a disappointing junior year when he had more than a couple of dropped catches. That's his 5th catch today. 37 yards for the touchdown. David Green, Terrence Edwards, and Georgia has doubled up on Alabama 24-12.
Bend your knees. There you go. Excellent. Square your hips. That looks good. All right. Back in position. There you go. Active feet. Active feet. Like a ballet dancer. There you go. Good. That's the winner.
This darn thing. This darn thing.
With a great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down. Make it a Bud Light.
Thing's got some zip on it. Oh.
And what did you do this weekend?
I called this girl, but the line was busy.
Gary? Matt?
I went to Wendy's for lunch. Well, I see their hamburgers on TV, and they look good. I ordered a classic double with cheese. Call me crazy, but I think they made it just for me. Hot, juicy, it tasted great. And when I finished, I felt good. And I liked that feeling.
Bravo.
Sure.
Wendy's Classic Double with cheese. And now Wendy's pickup windows open late so you can eat great even late.
Looking for some real thrills? Presenting the world's most powerful sport ATV, the 660R Raptor from Yamaha. For the ultimate in performance, nothing else cuts it. For a limited time, get 0% financing and 0 down on every Yamaha ATV.
Is it the Survivor women versus the men?
We're back in the good old days, ladies in the kitchen.
I have a husband at home, okay?
An all-new Survivor Thailand, CBS Thursday.
David Green, big touchdown toss. Terrence Edwards, 24-12. And
you could just see it in David Green's eyes all day today. I mean, look at this now. Today, 352 yards. Only one game over 300 before this, and that was against a 1AA team, Northwestern State. So, I mean, Georgia has answered some of the criticism today about their toughness, about their offensive explosiveness.
I would think probably the most relieved guy sitting over on that bench right now is Damian Garrett.
Absolutely.
Here's Kerouac with the kick. High, short. And taken by Hudson. Out to the 31-yard line.
Well, here's what David Green sees. He sees these linebackers that are going to blitz, okay? So then he knows he's got one-on-one out here on the takeoff, and that's all he goes to. He knows he's going to get the blitz picked up. The line does a nice job giving him enough time to throw the deep ball to Terrence Edwards. Wait for your chances. Get the blitz, throw deep, go up by 12.
Now David Green with a reaction. And now shouting encouragement to his defensive teammates. 24-12 with 13:20 to go. Coyle pitches. Sean Williams. Up and out of bounds at the 36-yard line. And that gives us a chance to go back to New York and check in once again with Tim.
Vern, we told you earlier about A&M's problems with extra points. John Pearson's second consecutive miss, this one in overtime. And then after Texas Tech scored, Robert Treese's extra point provided the game winner. He also kicked a 42-yarder to send the game into overtime. Big win for the Red Raiders today.
Yes, it was.
Mike Leach's team. You know, this is a big drive for Alabama, because if they don't score on this drive with 13 minutes left, they're taken out of their offense a little bit. They need to stay close so they can do their whole thing offensively.
Little pattern underneath. Coyle and Fulgham. I think that's what he should have had. Brody Coyle, his second start as a redshirt freshman. He's thrown for 162. David Green, the sophomore, 214 yards.
Big difference. Last week he only completed 12 passes, but they were for 285 yards against Arkansas. Georgia has not given him the big throws today.
Collins put way out to the right side. Coyle on third down out of the shotgun. Pumps, drills it. Sam Collins has it. And it's going to be a first down, Alabama, across the 50 at the 49. Sean Jones with the tackle.
Good protection up front. This is really not Alabama's forte. Straight drop back on third down, but they give him good protection. Sam Collins finds a hole in the Georgia defense and makes the sure catch for the first down.
That's a gain of 15, a first down at the 49. And just under 13 minutes to go.
I keep thinking they're going to go back to that play action off the option soon, just because they've run the option enough to do it. We haven't seen that smoke draw much here either.
First down and 10 from the 49. Here's Coyle, fakes to Williams, goes to Williams, and that's interference. Clemens was interfering with him at the 25-yard line. Chris Clemens.
Well, this is a tough task for Chris Clemens. He's 6'3", 240 pounds, out there on Shad Williams, out in space, and has no idea where the football is. And so all Shad has to do is just kind of slow down and let Clemens run into him and draw the penalty. Yeah, that's tough. Now, Boss Bailey is a little more adept at that kind of coverage.
Right.
You know, he's a smaller, faster guy than Clemens is, and they isolated Clemens that time on Shad Williams, and that didn't work out too well for him.
Now they'll reset the clock, and that is the 8th penalty on Georgia. Ball is marked off officially at the 34-yard line, just in between the 33 and the 34. Penalties 8 apiece. Now Collins breaks to the left. Backs will be in the I. McLean is the fullback, and Santonio Beard is the tailback. Play action. Coyle, a lot of time, but good pressure coming from the backside. Now he is chased down by Jonathan Sullivan. Second down.
Good coverage downfield, and you watch the relentlessness of this guy in here, Jonathan Sullivan. Now, he just gets blocked. He's double-teamed. He's out of the play. He keeps fighting. He finds the quarterback, and then watch him take off and run. Once he spots Brody Croyle. Croyle's a fast quarterback, and Jonathan Sullivan just tracks him down.
Second sack of the ball game, and it is second down and 14. There's motion on the right side, and flags
going backwards.
Negate the call. Dennis Franchione with a bemused look. Next Saturday, 3:30 Eastern Time, Tennessee at home against Arkansas tonight. Goes in to Athens to take on Georgia, and we'll be there next Saturday, 3:30 Eastern Time, as the Home Depot SEC is presented on CBS. Second down and 19. We can just visually throw it back to Tim Brando next week. It's getting a lot of airtime. Second down and 19, which he loves. Here's the blitz. Boss Bailey comes, and then he is blocked as Coyle gets rid of it. Bailey was right there.
It's about the third time, too, that we've seen Brody Croyle somehow get rid of the football. Avoid the sack, and not only get rid of it, but make a completion. They cross the linebackers, Gilbert and Bailey. Bailey comes unblocked, and just that little fake of the throw kind of threw him off a little bit, just enough to get rid of the football. So he avoids another lost yardage play and makes it third down and just a little over 10.
Earlier today, Ole Miss knocked off Florida. Tonight, LSU at home against Louisiana Lafayette. South Carolina also a winner tonight, and Arkansas, Tennessee play this evening. Third and 10. Croyle fires to Sean Williams. Darts out of the Boss Bailey tackle, struggles, fights for it, and has it.
Great effort and strength by Sean Williams. That was well defended by Georgia. They made Brody Croyle throw underneath, and they had their best player, Boss Bailey, in position to stop it short of the first down. But Sean Williams gets away from Boss Bailey, and he gets away from 3 more Georgia Bulldogs and gets the first down for Alabama.
That is the 6th catch for Sean Williams, and it's a first down and 10 at the 21.
Georgia out of position on defense. I just raise up and throw the ball right to the slot receiver.
Option play to Ray Hudson. Cuts inside the 15, down at the 10, still struggling, and he's finally tackled at the 8-yard line. It might be the 7.
Georgia really looked out of whack on that play. They didn't have enough defenders over on the wide side of the field, and Alabama ran the option to that side, and Kentrell Curry, the strong safety, was really out of position. There he is, number 4, coming in late on the play, well after the first down was picked up.
A gain of 14 and a first down at the 7. 10:37 to go, clock running. Inside give. And a flag is thrown on the far side of the field as Greg McLean, the fullback, gets a rare carry.
Again, conditioning, strength and conditioning. The end of a very hot afternoon. Georgia's defense, you see the hands on the hips a little bit, the heads down. Drive like this takes a lot more out of a defense than it does offensive linemen. Offensive linemen, you know, they're not rushing the passer. Rushing the passer takes a lot more out of a defense than it does an offensive lineman. And right now, a little bit of fatigue setting in on the Georgia defense.
Offside against Georgia. Red zone, no touchdowns today, 3 times inside the 20. That's Fulgham in motion. They hand it off to Hudson. Isolation play to the right side. He's down to the 1-yard line. Rashad Williams, not Hudson. 21.
Rashad Williams, tackled by Sean.
And it will be second down. 9:58 remaining in this one. 24-12. Donald Clark, the tight end, tight to the left. That's Evan Mathis inside him, number 51. Fulgham again. Play action. Croyle coming right. Looks for his tight end. Leaps. Tries to break the plane and does. The line judge was right there. And there is a flag down.
I think it's going to be defensive holding against Georgia on the tight end who was trying to cross in front of the field. Donald Clark was crossing the formation and was held in the back of the end zone.
Holding on the defense. The penalties decline. Touchdown.
I think Brody Croyle completely shocked Bruce Thornton here by taking off. I mean, how many quarterbacks do this? Elevate from the 4-yard line and then get the football across the plane. Wow. Ground can't cause a fumble, and the ball came down first on the ground.
Extra point attempt by Brian Bostic. Good.
And they're just knocking dudes back on these extra points, though. I don't understand that. Alabama, they need to toughen up in there on the inside.
Are you suggesting to me that you never did that kind of a leap when you were at Penn State?
I don't know if Alabama's man enough to block the extra points.
The Pat Dye factor. John Croyle likes it all.
This fall, everything's turning red with Honda's fall values. Check out this deal on some of our ATVs and dirt bikes. 0 down payment and 0 payments for 3 months. And a 7.9% APR for up to 5 years. That's a fixed APR you can count on for real savings down the road. Just one of the many great deals at your local Honda dealer. So hurry in, because right now, Honda's fall values are making everybody look good in red.
Sweater for Ann Apple, $80 online. Dog dish for Toto, $20 online. Fabulous shoes, $150 online. Knowing you're safe when you shop online, priceless. With MasterCard Zero Liability, you're protected from unauthorized purchases. There are some things money can't buy. For everything else, there's MasterCard.
Jesse James never even came close to stealing what the Wall Street Gang is accused of stealing. Who's going to get him? He is, and he'll tell you how Sunday on 60 Minutes.
Brody Croyle left his feet about 4 yards away.
Well, all the ball has to do is cross the plane, and you're going to see the nose of the football over the plane of the end zone, and an Alabama touchdown. And Vern, who said white men can't jump? My man took off from the 4 right over Bruce Thornton. So important they scored on that drive because now they're right back in the game and their whole offense is available to them.
24-19. Here is Edwards at the 8. Chase to the right. Nice tackle. David Scott. Well, a game of emotions, not just for the players, but for the families here. John and Teresa Croyle, as their son breaks the plane. Remember the last Georgia touchdown, Rick and Kay Green? Their son David threw a touchdown pass.
Wow. I know my mom, that was tough for her, going to high school or college games and then going to pro games the next day and watching my dad coach. And tougher on the moms than the dads, I think.
Now you got about 82,000 fired up fans out of a full house of 84 plus. Here's Green, takes off, gets to the 30, cut down. That last scoring drive, 68 yards in 9 plays. Croyle got the TD Monday on CBS. See why CSI Miami is the most watched news show of the season, and why the Houston Chronicle says it packs heat. Don't miss an all-new episode of CSI Miami. Monday at 10 o'clock, 9 Central here on CBS, America's most watched network. 2nd and 6 from the 30. Left side, Gibson almost dropped it. Picked off, intercepted by Charlie Peprah. And Peprah goes in, and Alabama has the lead.
Well, first of all, Jarrett Johnson got pressure on David Green and forced a wobbly throw. And then Fred Gibson bobbled the catch, and Charlie Peprah just stole the football. Fred Gibson didn't catch it the first time, and Charlie Peprah came in and stole the football.
Charlie Peprah, born in Texas, the first in his family born in this country. His grandfather, Ike Achimpong, was the president of Ghana back in the 70s. He never knew his granddad. The family immigrated, and Charlie Peprah makes his presence felt with an interception return, a try for 2 forthcoming.
You can't fault David Green. I mean, he made the throw under pressure, and he put the ball where he needed to put it. But Fred Gibson just wasn't able to corral the football, and now Alabama going for 2.
3 wide to the right side. Collins split off to the left.
You go for 2 to make Georgia have to kick a field goal to tie the football game.
Option play. Croyle cuts back. This time he gets it again. No, they're going to say no.
Boy, I thought he stuck the football over the plane again, but maybe they said his knee was down before he reached the football. That was well defended by Georgia.
Now Kentrell Curry is heading the other direction, but
option to the right. It's stuffed up. Penetration by Georgia, and who's our guy? David Pollock there to stop him short of the goal line. He was down. Good call by the officials.
While you're out, life calls.
Life calls.
And guess what?
You're late.
Because you're trying to be everywhere. Do everything.
What you need is some serious money management. Experts who can create a model portfolio.
Then manage it based on your investment objectives.
The money management pros doing what they do.
You doing what you do.
Fidelity's Funds Manager Program, a portfolio of mutual funds designed to manage for people like you. Call Fidelity, because you're not just invested, you're personally invested.
time now for our Fidelity Investment scoring repack. Here's Musa Smith with the first score for Georgia. That was followed by a 47-yard field goal. Mike Ziepel and David Green. What a great catch this was by Fred Gibson. Held on to that ball. A touchdown toss to Dre Fulgham just before the half made it 14-9. A field goal just did get inside, made it 17-9 and 17-12 as Ziepel answered. And here was Terrence Edwards. Perfectly thrown pass from 37 yards out. Extends Georgia's lead. Coyle with the most athletic play of the ball game, diving in, breaking the plane. And then just moments ago, here was Charlie Pepra, redshirt freshman cornerback, took the ball away from Fred Gibson after it was bobbled, scored on the interception from 35 yards away. And it's 25-24 Alabama.
And can you believe it feels the momentum changing here? Alabama, their first lead in this football game with 8:24 left in the ball game. For the first time, Alabama on top.
Gibson, who had 3 fumbles in the 2 games prior to this one, could not hang on to that pass from Green, taken away by Pepper. Now Gibson tries to make amends on the kickoff return, and he's going to do just that. Out near the 40-yard line before he is knocked down. Well, earlier we heard Larry Munson call a touchdown on the radio for Georgia. How about Eli Gold of Alabama, that last interception by Charlie Pepra?
2nd and 6 from the 30. Green throws near side, bobbled, stolen by Alabama's Pepra. Charlie Pepra steals it into the hands. He'll run it back to the near side. Touchdown, Alabama! Touchdown, Alabama! A 32-yard swipe, and the run back for a touchdown.
Well, he's a good friend and a grand man. Eli Gold.
To go.
First down and 10. Musa Smith. Just think about how significant emotionally that touchdown was by Brody Coyle.
It was huge.
Here's the lineup tonight on CBS. All new, touched by an angel, followed by the district, and finally the agency. That's tonight's lineup on CBS.
So the biggest reason that touchdown was so big at that time is it meant that Alabama didn't have to get into a catch-up or a hurry-up mode on offense. They could stay within their game. Good coverage downfield by Alabama.
And let's go down and spend a moment with Jill Arrington.
Well, Vern, talk about this Alabama team personality. Coach Fran told us that they have fun practicing, they have fun playing. Todd, you saw that energy on the practice field. The coach said the offensive and defensive line sets the tempos in the game. They aren't playing with a chip on their shoulder. They're just playing for the enjoyment of being a team and getting on that field and playing some football to leave a good legacy as a special Alabama team.
Well, that T-shirt you saw spells out SWAT. That was on Tyler Watt's T-shirt. Special, we're all together is what it stands for in this NCAA-sanctioned period of time. Here's Damian Gary with the catch. That's good for a gain of 10. This is special, we are together, SWAT.
I wasn't sure whether we were supposed to know that or not. You know, it's kind of one of those secret code deals.
Right.
We broke the code, and now it's out. They may have to come out with a new acronym now.
Good sleuthing, my man.
Thank you.
First and 10. 1-point ball game. Tony Milton goes right across the 40 to the 38-yard line. 7:10 to go. And let's go back and spend a moment with Tim Brando.
Vern, to amplify how important this game is for Georgia, a couple of unbeatens lost today. Penn State beating Wisconsin. They were unbeaten. In addition, Colorado beats Kansas State. That means that there are 11 unbeaten, untied teams, only 9 of them that matter. Bowling Green and Air Force can't play for the BCS title, and that's pending the Georgia outcome. We could be down to 10.
All right, Tim, and they trail by 1 at the moment. Second down and 3, 6:40 to go.
David Green has made a couple big-time throws in this drive, showing great poise.
Comes the rush from the corner. Brooks Daniels, number 18.
Unblocked. They brought him off the edge. I don't know if this was a miscommunication by Georgia or not, but nobody blocked Brooks Daniels. Here he is right here, and he's just going to come unblocked. Nobody there for him. No back end to block. The line was turned the other way, and David Green, if he knows that's not protected, he's got to get rid of it because it's coming right at him.
That brings up a 3rd and 10, 3rd and 9 officially.
What a huge sack by Brooks Daniels. Georgia moving. They've got some momentum on this drive, and now they've got 3rd and long.
Under 6 to play. Bulldogs do have all 3 of their timeouts left. Here comes the blitz. Green steps up. He'll scramble. Now he pulls up and lets it go, and it is incomplete at the 35. Intended for Reggie Brown. Charles Jones defending.
Well, David Green thought about running for a moment, and then he thought he could stick it into Reggie Brown, but alertly, Charlie Jones able to get his hand on the football and knock it away. Again, the improved play of the Alabama secondary this year has made a big difference for the Tide.
Jonathan Kilgo on to punt. Sean Williams awaits it at the 10.
And Kilgo right now is thinking, okay, I've seen Zeifel do it. I don't want to let Sean Williams return this. I want to knock this out of bounds down around inside the 10-yard line.
Comes the rush, flags are down. And bring this one back. Dead ball foul.
Had a lot of penalties, haven't we?
Yes.
This feels like there's been a lot of laundry on the field today.
Prior to the snap, false start, movement in the offensive line, 5-yard penalty, still 4th down.
That's not all that terrible for Georgia. I mean, unless they had a fake in mind, I don't think they would have, but it's not all that terrible to back them up 5 more yards and give Kilgo a little bit more room to go ahead and kick it. That was the 19th penalty in the game, and 10 of those belonging to the Georgia Bulldogs.
Kilgo again for the 5th time. Williams moves up to the 10-yard line. He heads left. Bounces. Nice punt.
Yep, nice kick.
5:27 to go in this one. And time for today's Home Depot Scholar Athlete. Today's selection, Kenny King of Alabama. He has a 3.23 grade point average in marketing. Home Depot's commitment to the investment of our future is shown today by donating $1,000 to the University of Alabama's Scholarship Fund.
Now the big question right now for Dennis Franchione and Les Koenig, how much pressure do we put on our redshirt freshman quarterback, Brody Croyle? Because we don't want to just try to kill the clock here and sit on it and give Georgia the ball back in good position. Ideally, you'd like to move the football and not be totally conservative, but do you do that with a young quarterback?
And off to Santonio Beard, and Boss Bailey is there to make the tackle. Let's take you back to 1994. In the 94 game, a second-half explosion by the Alabama defense and offense, led by Jay Barker. The Tide narrowly came away with a 29-28 victory, thanks to Michael Proctor's 32-yard field goal with just over a minute left in that game. It wound up 29-28, extending an undefeated string for Alabama at home in Tuscaloosa against Georgia.
Jay Barker threw for 276 yards, all in the second half.
Second down play. Here's Croyle. Dances up, heads right, tackled and dropped. Stop is made by David Pollock. Still 4:38 to go, and a 3rd down.
David Pollock, the beneficiary of his bookend, Will Thompson, because Thompson is the guy that flushed Brody Croyle out of the pocket, and Pollock gets the tackle.
3rd and 15. A 1-point game. 4:10 remaining.
Georgia gets a stop here. They're going to get good field position, and they have all 3 of their timeouts left. Big 3rd down play for Georgia right here.
Coyle under pressure, gets loose, comes by Jonathan Sullivan, and is out of bounds. That does 2 things. It forces Alabama to punt, and it stops the clock.
This is what Brody Coyle sees. He sees Tony Gilbert coming on a blitz. He's been after him all day. He gets away from him, and you know, the Alabama coaches told us that even though Tyler Watts is known as a runner, that Brody Coyle is actually a little faster than Tyler Watts. He showed a little speed on that play.
Now let's go back to one of the points we made at the onset of the day. Special teams, kicking game. Lane Bearden out. Ziefel has done a great job, but Damian Gary is oh so dangerous, and he waits the 50-yard line. The snap is back for Ziefel, and this one not terribly effective.
Got away from him, went to the middle of the field.
Here's Gary inside the 35 to the 33-yard line.
I think that ball went off the side of his foot. He was trying to kick it left, and I think that ball went off the side of his foot and ended up in the middle of the field, right where he didn't want it. I mean, they've directional kicked the whole day, and he lined up like he was going to kick it to the left sideline. He's looking left. Watch the ball hit his foot. Now, the ball didn't go where he lined up to kick it. Let's put it that way.
3:45 to go. Ziefel looks on. Billy Bennett's career longest field goal is 47 yards. They need about 5 or 6 to get him in that spot. Here's a reverse that is faked, and Musa Smith heads left and gets down to the 25-yard line. Cornelius Wortham makes the tackle. Time now for our CBS Sportsline stat of the game. The Crimson Tide's second half defense, 2 sacks, 1 interception. Charlie Pepper returned it for a touchdown, and a total of 172 yards allowed. Get complete game stats at CBSSportsline.com or on America Online. Enter keyword CBS Sportsline. Billy Bennett won a game earlier this year, a clutch 43-yard field goal against Clemson. He struggled in the offseason, but has hit 4 of 5 so far this year, including that kick against Clemson. Here's the toss to Smith. J.T. Wall with the block, and Smith to the 24-yard line.
If you're Mark Richt, particularly if you get a first down right here, I think you're thinking touchdown. I mean, you got confidence in Billy Bennett, but a touchdown is even better, because then that means Alabama has to score a touchdown to win the football game. So I think right now that Georgia and Mark Richt is thinking, hey, I've got 3 timeouts. My quarterback's been in big ball games before. He's led us into victory on the road in close games.
And David Pollock has come in as a blocking back, the defensive end. This is not an unusual formation. They'll go with the power eye now on 3rd and 1.
He was recruited to Georgia originally as a fullback.
Musa Smith.
Got it.
That will give them time and a fresh series of downs. Now this Georgia team is undefeated on the road under Mark Richt. And they have come from behind to win 4 games in all. Tennessee last year on the road, and then 3 at home. Kentucky, Georgia Tech, Clemson this year.
I guess you have to qualify that a little bit. They're undefeated in an opposing team's home stadium, because they did lose to Florida and Jacksonville last year. But that's even more impressive, to go into places, someone else's home stadium, and beat them.
That's why I keep you around. Clarification. Toss left. Smith inside the 20. And down at the 17-yard line, Anthony Bryant, number 97, makes the tackle.
Right now, they're running, and they're kind of gashing the Alabama defense. Now would be a nice time, if Mark Richt is so inclined, to take a shot at the end zone. And you tell your quarterback, if we do that, if it's not there, throw the thing away. Let's not lose the opportunity to kick the game-winning field goal.
All 3 timeouts left. 2nd down and 6. High formation. Wall, the blocking back. Musa Smith, the tailback. They'll give it to Musa Smith. He keeps it in the center of the field, and that brings up a 3rd down with 49 seconds to go. Time call. Alabama uses the timeout.
Honey, you remember when we bought this house, you said we'd remodel the kitchen?
Vaguely. See, the problem is I just don't have the time.
We can take care of the installation for you.
Can?
Countertops and cabinets. What about tile floor?
Well, sure. Floors, garage doors, if you like.
Guaranteed?
Absolutely.
I could have done this. I could have.
Miami beats Minnesota in ice hockey. North Dakota wins National Surfing Championship. Nebraska drops football for badminton. Just a reminder from Olympus Cameras, nothing's impossible.
Breaking news from Midas. Right now, get guaranteed lifetime brake pads or shoes for just $39.95, and you'll never have to buy brakes again for as long as you own your car. Next stop, Midas. Lifetime brakes, $39.95, only at Midas.
Get into the amazing race as teams chase each other around the world. Anything can happen on an all-new Amazing Race, CBS Wednesday.
Billy Bennett, the junior place kicker, grew up in Athens, hoping for a chance now to give his university a victory, come from behind on the road at Bryant-Denny Stadium. But first, a 3rd down play. Musa Smith, the deep back, is a quarterback keeper. They'll keep it right in the middle of the field, and it appears now that it's going to be on the foot of Billy Bennett, and it would be a 32-yard field goal effort. But first, a timeout.
Alabama, for them, uses their last timeout.
42 seconds to go. Field goal forthcoming.
Is it safe? Yeah, but hurry. This better be quick. Come on, come on, come on. Whoa, there's no way we can beat Dollar's rates. Hey, how are ya? Meeting's starting. Let's go. Yeah, I'm coming. Yes. Dollar.com? Yeah, from now on. I can't afford us.
When it's your money you're spending, log on for our lowest rates at Dollar.com.
42 seconds to go. Georgia's on the road. They trail by 1. And their field goal kicker is trotting onto the field.
Keep your eye on Antoine Odom, number 98 for Alabama, and Wayne Bacon. They both have blocked field goals this year for Alabama. Wayne Bacon against Oklahoma, and Odom against North Texas. Odom, a tall, rangy defensive end, will probably try to get up in the air right in the middle of the pack.
Brian Jordan will snap it. Jonathan Kilgo will hold it. Billy Bennett will attempt it. Georgia has never won in Tuscaloosa, but they have now reclaimed the lead.
Rock solid there, boy. That ball got up quickly. No chance of it being blocked. And dead down the center.
Billy Bennett from 32 yards away. Georgia leads by 2. Bennett knocks it home from 32 yards away with authority. And it gives Georgia a 2-point edge. Boy, he was confident, wasn't he?
Sure was. I mean, going on the field during the timeout, Never a doubt in his mind. I mean, my man was mugging to the camera before he went out there. I mean, it was never in doubt in the mind and the heart of Billy Bennett. You got to remember, too, Alabama, they're going to look back on this game if, in fact, they go down here, and remember that they had some breakdowns and some chances for points. They had a blocked field goal. They missed an extra point. Then they had to go for 2 on an extra point and missed that, and they had a touchdown called back.
And Dennis Franchione said to us yesterday afternoon, I hope we can stay even in the kicking game. They haven't.
No, they haven't.
27-25, Alabama is out of timeouts. This will be Hudson at the 1. And he's spilled as he gets near the 30-yard line. So Brody Croyle and the Crimson Tide takes the field again.
I'm so impressed by the poise of David Green on that last drive, too, and the poise by Mark Richt on the sideline, because they had all 3 of their timeouts in their back pocket, and they didn't use any of them, and they forced Alabama to use all their timeouts as they just kind of got closer and more to the middle of the field to set up the game-winning field goal. They didn't panic, and they made Alabama burn all their timeouts. So now Brody Croyle, with 32 seconds left, down by 2, has no timeout, so he's got to work the sideline. I think that guy right there answered the call today. David Green has been criticized the last couple weeks, played well.
Here's Croyle, intercepted. Picked off on the far side by Thomas Davis. And this one's going to go to the Bulldogs of Georgia. Croyle drilled it to the wrong man.
When a defense knows that you don't have any timeouts, they know you're going to also try to throw towards the sideline. So you set your coverages to defend the sidelines. And you're going to watch as Brody Croyle goes back. They're going to give you stuff in the middle of the field, and they're going to squeeze on the outside. And Thomas Davis there for the pick. I would guess a little victory formation right now for the Georgia Bulldogs. And you can't say enough about this Georgia football team and the way they responded. I mean, people were really questioning them and questioning whether they deserved to be ranked as highly as they were. And today was a great opportunity to shut people up. And you know what? They did. And they got another chance to do it next week at home against Tennessee.
David Green, the Georgia Bulldogs.
The only remaining unbeaten team in the Southeastern Conference.
And they go to 5-0. There's his dad, Rick, and his mom, Kay. And the Georgia Bulldogs are 5-0 for the first time since 1982. Which, not so coincidentally, was the last time they won an SEC championship. Some guy named Herschel Walker was around.
Pretty fair player.
Billy Bennett, field goal from 32 yards away. David Green, our player of the game, 15 of 27, 224 yards. Great presence.
Yes.
In the last quarter of play, and let's go down on the field. Jill Arrington's with Mark Richt.
Coach Rick, congratulations. This is the first time Georgia's ever beaten Alabama in Tuscaloosa. Yeah. What statement does this say to the conference about the toughness of your team?
I don't know. I think the one thing about this team since I've been here is they won't quit. And that's the one thing I told them throughout the week. One thing I know you won't do is quit. And they didn't. I'm just so proud of every one of them. Great team effort, and just very thankful.
Through all the ups and downs and the momentum swings throughout the game, are you pleased with the consistency of your offense?
Well, it was pretty good. It was so much better today. We still had a couple picks, and that hurt us. But other than that, we did pretty good.
All right, Coach, congratulations. Vern, back to you.
All right, thank you, Jill. And I can only assume that somewhere in this state, Pat Dye was watching. He inadvertently or vertently became a part of the story of this game. The Georgia Bulldogs come from behind. They win it.